this is very helpful
Yeah, there's kind of a
to
path
see how the war
here
is going to go.
Okay, interesting. See, I see no map, but still, I probably wouldn't have helped me if I'm being honest. I feel a little spiteful in these chapters. I don't know if a map would have done it for me.
Amanda's like, storm the gates! Go get my mans!
And I don't even want them to go, I'm not saying go through, just kill people, but there just seems to be literally no talk about saving Cass at all. And I'm bothered by it. Bothered. Can you tell?
Yes.
So mad.
Not at all.
I had no idea.
I don't know what to ask you.
If that's your kink, I'm so happy for you.
I will throw my old Kindle across the room because I'm not doing that tonight.
And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, fellow bookworms. Welcome to Bookmark Your Next Chapter, a podcast hosted by Katie,
Amanda,
And Kristen.
three friends who love books. All right, friends, we are starting book 4. Can you believe it? It's crazy. It's crazy.
what's this, 13 episodes in?
I know. And remember when we thought it was going to be 2 per book?
We were
Fine,
so
everything's fine.
naive.
Really were.
Yeah, for real. So book 4, also known as The War of Two Queens, in the Blood and Ash series, we are going to be covering chapters 1 through 7. We have not read past chapter 7, so you do not need to worry about spoilers per usual. Yeah. Kristen?
And also, as per usual, we're an R-rated podcast, so any hanky-panky, any swearing...
Penises.
Say it.
I pause, so Katie's gonna say it here, and then you let me down.
Manda was raising her eyebrows. I'm Manda's gonna jump in. She's gonna do it.
It's funny because, Kristen, you're pausing and Katie's no, I want to do it while you're talking.
Yeah. I want to interrupt you, damn it.
I really tried. So, any of that, all of that is on the table. I just listened, I was editing one of our episodes, and Katie laughed because you're I'm just here for the bang, bang, bangity bang. And I'm like, yep, that tracks.
That tracks.
So, if you haven't already sent away any little ones, any spouses that you don't want to listen to this with, send them away now. Pick up your beverage of choice. It's time for a little, not me time, but us time.
Yeah. Come with your book club, friends. We're here.
We're here for you.
All right. So with that, are we ready to dive into it, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
All right. I'll start us off. So chapter 1 opens, and my first note is POVs, Kristen. Are you excited?
Before that, there's a pronunciation guide. Did anyone look at
I
that?
did see that.
Oh,
Yes.
I
I was
didn't.
like, Katie!
I was not aware of this.
I wanted to ask you about this
Oh.
because I've never noticed it on any of the other books before, but I noticed it
No,
on
it was
this one.
never
I'm like,
there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
so it's
jealous. Can you explain this a bit to me? Because as an audiobook reader, I don't know what you're talking about.
So
Rude.
the first few pages, it actually breaks down how to pronounce towns, how to pronounce names, how to pronounce whatever. So I'm I need to keep this handy.
It's
Forever.
broken
So
down.
nice. You say this?
Because how many
Yeah.
times has it been am I saying this right? Am I saying this
Yeah.
right? She kind of
Yep.
clued in at book 4, okay, people need help here.
Yeah.
People
Like,
need help.
Eliana and I think Eliana or whatever her name is.
Eliana?
online.
Eliana.
It's Ilana. I don't know how to say
Ilana.
it.
Eliana.
Ilana. That's what it is. Ilana.
Weird. The audiobook doesn't
Denier.
follow it that way then, eh?
It's EEELAH-NAH. So I'm like,
Eliana. Eliana.
Eliana.
Eliana. We still don't know.
It's still difficult.
And then it's Aliana. Like
Interesting.
Aliana. Yeah.
Eliana.
And then it goes places.
Except
and
now we can
terms.
just call her Isbeth, or how Cass
Yeah.
calls her
Oh,
Isbitch.
That was,
love-
I laughed
love that.
so I had to
Me
rewind it. I'm
too.
did I catch that right? I think he might have said is bitch. And he did. I was that's amazing. Amazing.
But yeah,
Oh,
I did
okay.
notice POVs, and I was like, a new
I thought of
chapter
you
icon
immediately.
too.
So
Yeah,
do you
yeah, it's
like
like a dragon.
these when that happens?
Yes.
Are you, yeah? You're yes, I
Dragon
love
with
this?
a crescent moon.
Oh.
Kristen's been dying for POV. She loves different POVs.
See,
I do love a good POV.
Go ahead, Katie. You say your piece and I'll explain my
No,
thoughts.
I was just gonna say, prior to reading Throne of Glass or any Sarah J. Maas book for that matter, I hated it And when it was introduced, especially partway through a series, I'm like, I freaking hate this. But like Sarah J. Maas does it for pretty much every book she's ever written. And so I've gotten used to it because that was like most of the second half of last year for me was
That's
reading
fair.
the Maasverse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually didn't mind this one. I didn't mind this one.
So,
But the audiobook is a different voice, which was a bit of a mind fuck.
yes. That is my biggest effing point here. So if we're just gonna talk about we call these POVs. I love like learning about somebody else's thoughts and opinions on the way things happen, like in a story. I love getting backstories, even on people that aren't important. Like I would when I say aren't important, like I'm trying to
Like
think
not
of
main
somebody
character.
like imagine even Tawny, how we haven't really got to know her that much as a character, but I'd love to hear her backstory. I'd love to hear about her parents, her upbringing, how she got to become I'd love to learn all of that. But I would love that as here's the series, and now here's a random book on this person's backstory. Here's a random book.
Like a side story?
Yes. When I'm like invested on the storyline in someone's POV as we're reading, and then all of a sudden it goes to something else, when I'm like so invested to know what happens next in this like way the story's going, that I have a little bit of a hard time with. But like I can do it. Now, my comment on it here is that the voice change to Cass, because one thing that I've really loved about the narrator so far in these audiobooks is that she gives Cass a voice when she speaks for him. So any words that are coming out of Cass's mouth, she gives like a different tone in her voice and an accent. So Cass has had a voice for me. And then that voice changes because now we actually have a different narrator for him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like Cass to me. And that is something I really struggled with listening to it, is that Cass had a voice for 3 whole books. And now it's almost like when you watch a show and a character is a different actor. Like that's how I felt. I'm like, this doesn't sound like Cass. And
it's like detached almost.
Yes, I almost was like, do
Yeah.
I read this? Because at least I'll hear his voice in my head, you know? But so that was my hardest part here. But
I feel like I was so excited. Like literally, my note is all capitals, new chapter icon and POV. I was so excited. It just continued. Oops.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Okay. Anywho, we went on a side quest there, friends. But yeah, so my first note was POV. POVs have entered the chat was exactly what I wrote. So we start with Cass being held captive in Isbeth's dungeon and discover that he has been there for at least 13 days, as each day the handmaidens will come in and like make a cut on him and siphon some of his blood, and he has 13 cuts on his arm. The first time I read this, I thought he was like marking it on himself as like a way to track how long he's been in there, and I'm like, oh no, like they're doing it. I didn't realize that at first.
I still didn't realize that until you just said it.
Oh really?
Yep.
I had to go back and read it because I was like, did I understand that correctly?
I went back a few times in this like chapter.
Yeah, I felt like this chapter specifically, there was a lot of information.
Yeah, I felt the same
I'm like,
way.
oh, woo. So, yeah. Okay. So then my second note says, I immediately hate the POVs. I can't stand hearing about Cass's suffering. So I was like, I don't want to hear it from his point of
that
view.
part.
I was like, God, I'm already crying, and I'm on page 2.
Yeah. Off to a great start.
Oh God, off to a lovely start.
Yeah, because there's like he's like chained, and it sounds like he's got a chain on his throat too.
Yes,
like a collar
around
almost.
his neck. Yeah.
And there's like Barat's coming and attacking him, and Craven's coming to attack him, and like he's been bit a few times. It sounds like, and the cuts aren't healing properly, and then he's also being sliced by them. I'm like, this is awful.
I know, and I'm like, it's what he lived through. It's like coming back. I'm like, they're using him as a blood bank again. They're torturing him again. Are they sending the Craven in to torture him, or are they just getting in? Like that part, I wasn't sure. Like there was just so much coming at him that it was like, holy cow.
And I was like, even like all of that's happening, and like he's internally like, I don't care, it doesn't matter, it's worth it because she's safe. And I'm like, that made me cry all over again.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I'm like, you're just so like,
it is very nice hearing, like, because we already know he already expresses it enough to Poppy, but like to hear him think about how much he loves her, and I'm just like, my heart.
Yeah, internally on his end, I know it is great.
Yeah, like when he's like defending her to the queen, and
yes,
so cute. Oh.
We're all a little emotional.
I know. We're just, we just love Cass. He's great.
A note here about when he's talking about when they originally captured him. Do you have any notes prior to that? Okay, so I
What you
thought
got?
it was interesting that because Cass is kind of like internal monologuing here, right? And just thinking about the
Mhm.
past and things that are going on. And this was the first time that we hear of Cass mentioning that when they originally captured him, that they tried to turn him and have him join their side.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I feel like there was a
yes.
conversation about just like them torturing and just being terrible, but there was never, oh, they tried to do
Like,
that. So
yes.
yeah, so then I'm thinking to myself, does that mean that he knew everything? Like that his mom was poisoned? And because all of that seemed like brand new knowledge to him. And if they didn't tell him any of that, what could they possibly have had to say or offer him to make him join their side?
Yeah, like,
So I
why
thought that
wouldn't
was
she have told him that?
exactly. He
Because
said
she
they tried
is the one
to.
that told them that information
Yes,
eventually.
she obviously told
Good point.
his brother,
Yeah.
and when she was saying all this, he was basically like, yeah, like all of this is happening. So him saying that, I'm like, okay, has he been
Wait,
lying this whole time?
How do we know? Like, we don't know what she told his brother, do we? Is it clarified here that
No.
he
Well,
told?
no, but clearly he knows
just
all of this.
assuming.
Like when
Yeah.
the queen was
It's-
explaining it to Poppy,
He
and
knows
Cass,
something. I don't think it's clear that he knows. Oh yeah, sorry.
he was
Oh
in
my
the
God,
room though when
my
she was
brain.
saying it. And I mean, he
Yes.
didn't seem like, oh, what? My mother was poisoned? Like, it was basically, like, he just stood there like, yeah, like, this is what's
I'm
been
like
going
thinking
on
in
and I
this
support.
chapter. I forgot
No,
about the
no, no.
previous books.
So I'm just, I forgot about everything we read.
That was so last
Totally.
week.
Oh, literally.
Listen.
So I just, yeah, I'm like, okay, either they told him this already and he was acting like he didn't know, or like he was told this and he didn't believe it. Let's say that was the case, or he wasn't told it. But I'm thinking, what could they possibly have said, right? To try
Like,
to
what are other
Yeah.
to sway
argument
him.
would
Like,
they
what
have
are you?
used?
Yeah,
I
what other
can't see
argument
why
could you
he would have gone to like. I don't think he would have gone to that meeting if he'd known all that stuff. though.
Exactly. That's how I feel too.
Mhm.
Like I feel because even considering that, I don't think there could be anything like if I were the Blood Queen, I would not believe I could switch Cass to the other side if he didn't know those pieces of information. That's kind of how I feel. But then I was thinking, like, there's obviously a reason they couldn't tell the truth, right? Because there were like secrets that they were keeping for whatever reason. But when they had Cass the last time versus when they had Malek, they also there's a big difference because when they had Cass, Poppy was still under the control of the Blood Crown. When they had Malek, Poppy was no longer under the Blood Crown. So now it was almost like they had to tell maybe
Yeah.
Malek.
And he was the one that was
Do you
going
know
to be
what I
king,
mean?
not Cass at the time
Yes.
too.
So it was like we've lost our checkmate, our maiden, and now maybe that was the point in where Malek learned something that Cass didn't, and maybe
So
that's
you
how
think he learned it recently then, is what you're thinking?
I think either recently or it doesn't make sense that they would have told him and not Cass when they were under their control. So I'm trying to like play devil's
Mhm.
advocate. If they didn't tell Cass, like why would they tell Malek? Well, they didn't have Poppy when they had Cass, and then once they lost Poppy, they were probably like trying to figure out a new plan of how we can persuade things or what have you. Maybe that's what happened because I just I cannot figure out how else they
What
could have
else
tried to
they would have used?
yeah, to
The
convince
plot.
Cass. I have a hard time with that, but
My brain,
Yeah.
this is like when you're like, I don't know, like why wouldn't she have told Cass? I'm like, maybe she signed an NDA, and I'm like, those don't exist. But I just watched a medical drama where he had to sign an NDA.
oh my god, that's so funny.
And I've
Oh
had to
my
sign
God.
them. I'm like, yeah,
I
that's
was
where my
not
brain.
expecting you to say that.
If anything, they would have like spellbinding magic, so they couldn't
Yes.
talk about
Yeah.
it. But it just
Yeah.
even in his reaction to it, like it all seemed very genuine. First time he ever heard it. So like I'm not thinking in this moment that Cass was lying and acting like he didn't know when he did. I'm just like, it's so weird that they tried to persuade him. Like with what
In
possible
another way.
Yeah, like what could you have possibly done other than like threaten him or his family, right? That would have been the
Hmm.
only other
Which probably is what they did.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because he thinks to himself, he's like he wonders if that's exactly what happened to Malek when he was being held captive, and that's why he's changed. They like essentially broke him, like they broke his
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Because like, so I don't know, maybe it was more like torturing him, and I don't know. Like
He would have been like the
I don't know.
war army
I'm
general
just like,
too at the time, like
this is
more in
strange.
line for like to be the commander of their army. So it might have been
right.
something related back to that too.
True.
And I really love, I can't remember which of you two kind of started this theory, but I really like the theory right now that the brother has not joined their side and that he's just playing the long game because, like what you just said, Cass was trained to be the leader of the army, but Malek was trained to be the leader of Atlantia. And he could be doing what's best for Atlantia, which might be play along with the queen, get in on her good side, make her trust you to the point where you are in there and you can fight from the inside. So that's kind of the theory I'm holding on to right now, that I really hope that maybe that's the difference, is that there was a different mindset between both brothers. One is just like, fuck you, no matter what, no, no, no. And the other one is like, okay, I don't want to do this, but this is best for my people. It's best for Atlantia. This is the way that I've been raised to behave in this way. So I'm hoping that we'll be pleasantly surprised with something there.
I assume he was probably like promised like, hey, if you come over to our side, you're going to marry Poppy and then you're going to have all the kingdoms too, right? Like you'll be in line. If I assume Isbitch would have taken that from them, but he would have been in line for both kingdoms, and then that would have been better for Atlantia because then they would have had the land from Solis.
Yeah. True. And like,
Anyway.
I think there's hope that maybe he's working on the good side because we haven't seen him again yet, right? In these first 7 chapters.
Correct.
So, and like he even asks about him and she's like, don't worry about it. So like, you know, there's hope.
Even like the Rev at the end is like, I don't know.
I have a good feeling about her. Like even from previous when she kind of she liked Ian. Yeah, the Revenant. She liked Ian. And I'm hoping there's that like we kind of said, some secret
on her.
Oh, I'm excited about it. But I'm hoping there's a secret thing, right? We kind of talked about this last episode between like Ian, her, Malek, and maybe they're all working together on the inside. And
yeah, I got some theories in my noodle about her, but we'll get to that. I'm gonna save it. Yeah. Okay, so there's 5 handmaidens that are now re-entering this room, followed by Isbeth, or as Cass says, the soon-to-be dead bitch. And I'm like, LOL. And then Cass has come to the realization that his parents must have known who and what Isbeth was. And I was like, oh yeah, he wasn't there when Poppy confronted his mom, because obviously he's captured at this point when they had that conversation.
He doesn't know his parents.
Like he's come to the same conclusion, though. He's like, well, obviously they've known this. They didn't tell us this. And like now all the shit has gone down because they didn't tell us everything. And I'm like, oh, look at him go. He figured it out.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, she literally said she poisoned me. So like he's realizing like they knew like this.
Yeah. They had to have known. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a cool moment to see it from his side. Like, he figured that out.
I did like that too. I have some notes here before Isbeth enters. If I can just quickly read them here. So one is that the marriage bond, he looked at it again, and I loved that part again. He's looking at his marriage bond, and
he does a few times in here too.
Yeah,
both of them do.
And this is kind of piggybacking on what Kristen said too about how like him commenting about Poppy and his internal monologue about her. But this is like the one thing he didn't have the last time was Poppy, and his like will to live because of her, his will to be strong because of her. So
remember who he is.
Yeah, it's kind of like bringing that element here, and then he's able to actually look and say, okay, on my hand, was it on his hand or is it on his arm?
Yeah,
wherever it is. The image, the marriage imprint, he can constantly look at it, and it is basically justifying like what you did saved Poppy, right? Like, so it's not this like, oh my gosh, how's my family? How's this? Everything's dead. Like there's no hope. He constantly can visually see that hope with him at all times. So it's like that one thing he didn't have. I also have a point here that I cannot imagine that his brother isn't good. I just want to believe that he is good. So I'm saying surely his brother is good. There's no way. I can't fathom that somebody that was fit to be a ruler in any type of way would just throw away everything that they were ever raised for doing just because there was a conversation like with the Blood Queen. Even if his parents were traitorous, I just have a hard time for him totally jumping ships over that one thing. Like if you were trained to be a king, that wouldn't be enough to just jump ship, in my opinion. Also, was it the Revenants were the handmaids that came in, correct? Were they always Revenants or?
Handmaidens came in.
It just says handmaidens. He's talking about earlier, though, how 3 had come in when he first got there and he killed them and 2 of them came back to life. So 2 of them were Revenants. I don't know. That's what
I read this when I was very tired, and I was like, how did he kill a handmaiden? Like, she talked about them like they're Like, you can't kill them. And then my next one, ha ha ha, I'm so dumb. 'Twas not a revenant. I think I
No
assumed
revenant.
handmaidens were revenants. I was
I
really
kind
clear
of did
when
too. I
reading
was
this.
getting that confused. But he mentioned that they were wearing facial paint, and then he
Yeah.
he said that he's asked them over a dozen times why, and they don't answer. They almost totally ignore his questions. So I wonder if that's going to be relevant to if it's all handmaidens that are wearing these, or if it's just the revenants that have the face paint. And do we think it's maybe? I was thinking like so their family can't recognize them, but again, they were babies when they
Yeah.
left,
I don't
right?
know.
So
I
like.
always think of like ninja. Like my mind goes to like a ninja, and like they have the black, like, you know, they mask their face, like,
Mm-hmm.
or it could be a way
Yeah.
to like not look in the mirror and see yourself. You're seeing like the same thing,
Do
take
we
away their individuality.
Yeah.
Could it be where it's face paint versus like it's a permanent thing there? Like, do you think
I
that they're
assumed
constantly
face
putting it
paint.
on, or that it's like maybe when they turned into a revenant, they get this mark that is permanent there? Who knows?
I think it's all the handmaidens that have it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure if it was.
I think I
remember.
assumed face paint the way it was talked about one time.
Yeah, he did say facial paint. So
Yeah.
okay. Anywho, next notes I got about Miss Is bitch. So
Is bitch.
Is bitch.
So I made a note here how the queen is saying like how she wishes Poppy would have never known the pain that she experienced like during
Ugh.
the Craven attack.
That made me.
And
so
she's
mad,
like-
her saying that.
I know, but she's saying like, you know, like I laid beside Poppy every night when she was a baby until it was no longer safe for me to do so. And then when she was attacked, I was the one that stayed with her and I was cleaning up her wounds. Like I would never want her to experience pain, blah, blah, blah. And then Cass is like, okay, well, how about the fucking time you abandoned her with a man that abused her regularly? And like the queen kept like flinching. And I'm like, good. I hope you feel fucking guilty about that.
Yes.
Dum-dum.
And it's just like I think she literally says something that I would do anything to make sure
Yeah.
Poppy doesn't feel pain. Okay, but then I kill Ian in front of her. I
Yes.
have you in my captive. She knows I'm torturing you. She literally sends her little message in a box. Like, what do you mean you would do anything to not do this as you are actively doing things to do it? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like a little psychotic. Like it's trying to
Yeah.
show
Literally.
us how like not stable she is in what she is like thinking in the way it just makes
Cuckoo for
no
Cocoa
sense.
Puffs.
Yes, literally. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, as Mando would say.
Like literally the last thing that she did to her was almost kill her. She put her whole
Yes.
body in pain, was like squishing her head, she was
Yes.
bleeding out of her facial orifices.
Every orifice.
Like she was the only person doing that exclusively
Yeah.
to Poppy, and then has
Yes.
the audacity to say,
I would never
do
want her to see
anything."
pain.
Like, shut
Ugh.
your mouth, bitch.
And like,
Shut your mouth.
it's so unfortunate because I
I'm so
really don't
mad.
think she would have been so crazy had she not lost her son. Like, I think that's kind of what started it all.
of course,
But it's not an excuse. Like, it's not an excuse.
And this is your
that's-
daughter that you're doing
Yes.
this to. That's the
Yes.
craziest thing. Like, this is the closest thing
Yes.
you have to what
Yes.
you had.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah. Just nuts.
Yeah.
The queen says if she had known what was going on, she would have ripped out the Duke's entrails and forced him to choke on them. And then she asks Cass if he was the one to kill him, and Cass says he was. And she goes, "Did you make it hurt?" And when he says yes, she goes, "Good." And I'm like, "You're so confusing to me, lady."
Same. I was like, shut
Okay.
up. Like this whole time, I'm like,
Yeah.
shut up. Like, oh,
I feel like you got like I just read this conversation. I'm like, yeah, she's fucking crazy. And then I like
oh, she was
What?
crazy. And then I was like, I can't handle this amount of, I would do this. No, you wouldn't. You're actively doing the opposite.
I think I was still
Literally.
like so mad at Cass's mom. I'm like, how the fuck did you
Yeah.
put them in this position again? Like,
Yep.
this is
Mhm.
on you.
The reason
Because
Cass
you
is
lied.
there. Yes.
Yes. The entire
Mhm.
thing is on
Ugh.
her.
I know.
Yep.
I feel so awful for defending her. You guys were right.
Oh yeah. Vindicated. But actually, I'm not happy
You
about it though. Like, I'm like,
No,
I
I'm
really
not-
wish.
I know.
I
I'm
was
like,
actually-
you won, but like you're not happy about
I
it.
wish I lost.
I was editing the episode that we were talking about that, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are mean. She's such a nice queen lady." And I'm like, "No, shut up. You're wrong. Shut up." It was funny.
You're like, damn it.
I have to say, before we get into this conversation, I'm surprised
Yes.
you didn't bring this up, Katie. Maybe
Uh-oh.
I read this very tired also. But we were talking about the Rev's eyes, and Cass makes a point to say not all Revs have the light irises.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, I did remember. I thought about you actually when she said that.
I was like,
Oh.
Katie. Yeah, he's
Do I
like,
need to reinvigorate the eye watch?
yeah. His eyes,
Rev
so he's
eye
talking about the
watch?
male Rev. His eyes were a blue so pale they appeared nearly bleached of all color. And then its eyes like some of the handmaidens, another Rev, I bet. But one of the handmaidens whose throat hadn't stayed torn open and had brown eyes. Not all Revs had the light irises.
Interesting.
Which could go along with your theory that Tawny's a revenant, because don't they comment about her eye color?
Mm-hmm.
I was also
Mm-hmm.
wondering if maybe it was like how many times they've died. Someone brought that up, I think,
Yeah,
last
that's
one.
one
Amanda
of my
The
did.
more
thoughts
often they've
Amanda.
died, that they leached
the
their
life
color.
comes out of
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
the
Oh,
yeah.
and we got so many arguing points for my Tawny is a revenant theory in this section. I'm like, I am so fucking right. I am so fucking right. I know it. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there
Yeah.
in due time. So this is when Isbeth starts going on her monologue about how she doesn't hate Cass's mom. She didn't hate Cass's mom before, but she does now. And she's like playing with that candle fire or whatever, and the steam or the smoke is like changing the color of the stone above it. And Cass is like, that's not normal. And so he's like, what are you? And she responds with, I wrote this as a quote. I am nothing more than a myth, a cautionary tale once told to Atlantean children to make sure they didn't steal what they didn't deserve. And Cass says, are you a Lamea? I think is how they said it. Isbeth laughs. Cute response, but I thought you were smarter than that. I may be no god by your standards or beliefs, but I am no less powerful than one. How am I not just that, a god? And then that's when Cass realizes that she's, and I don't know how this is said because I was reading this part. Amanda, maybe this is you. A demise?
A demi is what I have, but
A demise? Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, we find out that it's a false god,
false,
also known
yeah.
as
Yes.
demis. I'm like, oh, we had never heard of these prior to this
No.
point, correct?
Correct.
think
Yes,
so.
this is the first.
And I thought this was spooky when it was brought up because Cass remembers like when Kieran's like girlfriend was dying or whatever, and he was praying to gods that he knew were sleeping to save her. And Jasper had said like, careful, like it's something that it's not a god could be listening and they might answer, like a false god could reply.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that sounds so spooky.
Yeah.
And I found it
Spooky,
really
spooky.
heartbreaking to learn that Kieran was literally praying to the gods to save his
know.
love, and then nobody answered his prayers. Like, I'm just
I
like, poor
know.
Kieran. Like,
I know.
And then his friggin' what's her face, Lyra,
I
died
know,
in the last book.
I know. I really
and his best friend's
like,
been held captive. I'm like,
I have
just
some
wanna
notes
give
about
Kieran a hug.
Kieran and Poppy being the way she is that it annoys me a little bit, and we'll get into that in later chapters, but poor Kieran deserves a hug too.
Yeah.
That's
I
all I can
know.
say. He needs to be held and he needs a
He
shoulder to
really
cry on.
does. Oh.
I don't know where
Yeah.
this was too, but like at some point I remember thinking like Cass's mom, she seemed like, and maybe she's lying because she's like, your father, when we thought Malik was Poppy's father, she had made points to say like Malik was a good person. And
Yes.
so like she seemed quite taken with Malik. And then Isbitch is
Like
saying
Cass's
like,
mom, you're saying?
yes, Cass's mom
Yeah.
kind of seemed
Yeah.
taken with, or the way even Isbeth describes it maybe. But then Isbeth is saying like, but Malik didn't love her, he only loved me. And I'm wondering, like, I'm thinking too, it's maybe more just feeding into that delusion. Like, I'm wondering if she's just that delusional that she could only see this is
He
my truth and
Could
that's
have
all
never
I see.
loved you. Yeah.
But
Yeah, main character energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, I know. Because like very clearly, like I think Malik did love
Yeah.
Cass's mom, but once his heart bond came into the picture, like it changed for him, but that doesn't change the fact that he loved her. It's just not the same or near
Yeah.
comparable.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
like, I hate to bring this analogy in, but like Twilight, right? Where there was somebody's like cousin or something that loved someone and then they bonded to somebody else and then ended up marrying that person instead. Like it didn't, like, you still loved the person before, but then you didn't realize there was this
Yeah.
greater thing that you could have with somebody else,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So he says to her, he's like, what? So you just spend your whole life making people miserable and destroying lives? And she says something like, oh no, like that's a rude way to put it. And she says, demise or demis. What was it, Amanda?
I think Demis, but
Demise? Demis?
who frickin' knows?
Demis are not born, but made when a god commits the forbidden act of ascending a mortal who was not chosen. So this is the first time in this set of chapters that we're being called back to the word chosen.
Yep.
Because
I have a
Poppy
note
finds
on
them
that
in those
too.
ledgers later. And I'm like, first maiden energy, something's going on. I don't know.
I was thinking the
But-
same thing. And it's interesting. She says the active ascension on someone who wasn't chosen. So it kind of also explains that when Poppy was ascended, because she was chosen, why she
Mhm.
didn't turn into, the ascended or what have you.
Mhm.
Very interesting wording.
Yep, I thought so too. And that's the
Yeah.
first time it's brought up. I'm like, oh, we haven't heard that word in a minute. And then we heard it a few times in this section. I'm like, oh, okay, there's something to this. She says that her daughter has sent her a rather interesting message. And then the blonde Rev dude comes, I can't remember what his name is now, dumps the king's head at Cass's feet, to which Cass bursts out laughing and thinks Poppy is a vicious in the most magnificent way, and I cannot wait to show her how much I approve of it. Like, oh my
I know
God.
he loved this. Almost
He
like
did.
borderline sadistically,
Crazy.
but I
Yes.
was here for
Yeah.
it. Like, you're being tortured. You're allowed. Is bitch not allowed? You, yes.
Yeah. He's
just being a
laughing so
supportive
hard.
king.
Yeah. He loves his violet little creature,
Yeah, literally.
And he goes, that is my gods, that's my queen. And I'm like, oh, I just love him.
Yeah.
And
do
then she says
too.
the other message was regarding Malek, and I wrote a quote. I have spent the last several hundred years believing that Malek was dead, but it appears that I have been mistaken. Penelope claims that not only is Malek alive, but that she knows where he is. She said that she would kill him, and the moment Penelope starts believing in her power, she very easily could. Is it true? Does he live? And then Cass says, for now. So this is when the is bitch comment comes in.
love it.
It was fantastic. But he's like, come on now, is bitch. He called it right
Yeah.
to it. Wasn't even like a monologue. Like it was right
Yeah,
to
he
her.
just said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh,
I'm like,
shit.
yes.
Love it.
And then so Isbeth then starts taunting him, saying like, you don't even love Poppy, you just want her power and blah, blah, blah. And I thought this was so cute. He says he doesn't care if she was the queen of ashes and bones. She will always be his queen, and love is too weak of a word to describe his feelings for her. Like, oh.
And it was almost like a bit of jealousy coming from her, I think, because
Yeah, I think
she
so
is
too.
very like power hungry right now. And I think she even made a comment when she was talking about her and Malek and how like they had the heart bond or what have you. And then
Yeah.
she was talking about how I think she said that their marriage was not blessed by the gods, but Poppy's
Yeah.
and Cass's was. So I think
Yeah.
there's that bit of jealousy there. And she sees the marriage imprint. She sees that like they are actually chosen for their relationship.
Mhm.
And I feel like this is almost her way of convincing herself that it's just about the power. Like she was
Yeah.
hoping to get gratification over that when
that their love wasn't greater than
yes,
hers.
and she literally got the
did she actually
confirmation.
ever get married to Malek? I didn't think they did. I
don't-
thought that's why
I
she
would
didn't have
imagine
an
so.
imprint.
I don't think.
No, I don't. I think
they
they did.
did.
Why wouldn't they though? Like I don't think it mentioned one way or the other, but I'm pretty sure she said that the gods didn't bless their marriage like they did Cass and Poppy's.
Yeah, they didn't bless it, but they also everyone gets the imprint once they get married. And I thought
But-
when she said she didn't have an imprint, it was because they weren't married. I thought.
But if
I
they
don't think I
didn't
ever
bless their
assumed they were
marriage,
married.
wouldn't they have had to have a marriage for it to not be blessed?
Oh, true. Good point. Duh.
Like, so they didn't bless our marriage. Well, then you didn't get married. Of course, they didn't bless it.
Right. Duh.
Like there
yeah.
had to have been a marriage. But I guess you would know that
Mhm.
Malek wasn't dead, though. So yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm unsure on that one.
So Isbeth says that her plans for Cass and Poppy are much greater than just seizing Atlantia. And I wrote a quote. She says, "We are now part of a greater plan, and all of us together will restore the realm to what it always was meant to be. It has already begun." And then Cass says, "What in the hell are you talking about?" And she says, "You'll see in time."
The way she's talking about like restoring the realm, she talks about restoring the realm and the purpose of Poppy. And I think the way she talked about it, it made her sound like we, not I. And I was really wondering here if she isn't the big bad yet. Like there's still something more or above her that we don't know about yet.
Ooh, interesting.
Well, what I wondered with that, because she says, like, we are now a part of a greater plan. All of us
Yes.
together will restore the realm. Um, isn't the prophecy kind of worded similar to that? Like the bringer of.
Yes, kind of,
I
yes.
can't
So I'm like, what if this
remember.
prophecy is actually about Isbeth and not about Poppy?
That's very
It
possible.
could be. But it's really interesting you saying this now that she's not the big bad, and maybe there's something even bigger that we don't realize. Like maybe Isbeth is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because she has something even more terrible than her, like either forcing her hand a bit, or not even that. Maybe just convincing her, if you do this, then maybe I can save your son. I don't know.
I think
But
she's just cuckoo.
you saying that though made me think that because Nyktos is a primal. And there were other primals, right? But
Mhm.
he
Yep.
either killed them off or like something
Yep.
happened. Maybe he didn't. And there is another primal that's somewhere up here mad at Nyktos. And that's why like Iris, by the way, which is the other brother's name, Iris
Yes.
is I'm like, once I heard it, I'm like, I gotta make sure that I say this.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a part of, because they were like, why did they leave Elysium? Why this? Why that? Like maybe there's another primal somewhere
Mhm.
that we don't know about. Like I just never even considered the fact that there could be a different big bad that were like, you just planted a seed. That's all I have to say. Is didn't consider
Yeah.
it. Now I'm like, oh.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just thought of something. Isn't the next book called something like Primal Blood and Bone or something?
I try not to look at them so I don't come up with theories based on the title names.
But look at that. Look at that.
Oh, Amanda.
I mean, it's kind of Kristen's theory that got my brain moving, but I do
Teamwork.
We're all
wanna-
in this together.
We're
It's like a
all
joint
in
crock-pot
this
situation.
together.
Once we sing.
Oh, sometimes we are way too similar, all of us.
So chapter ends with the Rev Isbeth telling the Revenant to attack. Cass says he doesn't even know him, but he's going to kill him too. And the Rev says he's heard that hundreds of times, but thinks that Cass might be the first one to actually be able to do it. And then Cass's world explodes in pain. And this is what we find out later: is the finger goes choppy chop. But
So, okay, so I have a question just for you guys. At the end of this chapter, when they go and attack Cass, we don't really know what's happening. And the Queen says, I'm really sorry about this because if Poppy truly loves you, she won't be happy about this. Did any of you have a speculation of what she was going to do or what was about to happen?
no, and it
No.
definitely was not cutting his finger off. I'm like, what
No.
the
Oh,
fuck?
I'm so excited. I called it in one of these chapters.
Did you?
Yep, I did.
That
I-
you
I-
would cut his finger off?
Yes, I called it, and I called it in a way that I was like, I know this is the craziest theory ever and isn't going to happen, but this
Oh
is
my
what
God,
I think's in that
that's
box.
So
And then it was. I was like,
funny.
oh, shit. Like, I literally was like, okay, this is really graphic and terrible, and I don't know why I'm thinking this, and I just have to say it. And then it literally,
Damn.
I was like, holy M or F. I was so proud of myself.
I love when that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, because I literally was like, I know this is the worst. Like, there's no way it's this. And yeah,
I was thinking like when she said it was the ring, like when she saw the ring, I'm like, oh, that's kind of mean. Like she took her ring off, and then I'm like, oh, it's the whole finger.
in all fairness, I thought it was going to be his whole hand. So it wasn't exactly.
Well, I mean, still.
I count
Still.
that as called it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll get to it when we get to it, but I was really
Yeah.
frigging impressed.
I can't wait to hear your thought process.
Chapter 2. So intro to that chapter, Poppy is outside Messina with the Wolven. They are in the pine lands that border Messina and Oak Ambler, and she's internally thinking about how they needed to take over Messina first if they were to seize Oak Ambler. And then she's thinking about the Dead Bones clan and how they were rumored to be there. Valen is leading an army behind them. My first note here is just about her commenting that 4 Wolven were already killed, and
Yeah,
I
it's kind
feel
of like a
like
throwaway.
yes, I feel like we're all of a sudden in this chapter. I feel like the war has already started. That we've missed a huge
Yeah.
part of what's going on. And
23 days to be exact.
23 days has
Yeah.
passed, and I'm just like, what the fuck has been going on that we know nothing about? It has been almost a
Yeah.
month at this point,
Mhm.
and here all of a sudden we're just here, and I'm just like,
La-ti-da!
yes,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, normally, like, I know previously, like, you know, we've had time jumps and I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. But I'm like, 23 days is a lot. Like, we knew it was like
Yeah.
13 days from
yes.
when Cass, like, we had
Yes.
13 days with Cass and then we had another
Yeah.
10 days
Yeah.
Like,
Poppy,
it makes
and I'm like,
sense for it to have been 13 days with Cass because when we had his
Yes.
POV, it was kind of explaining what happened, how we had all these tick marks, how they were coming in. There was like, so we at least got the picture painted about
Of
kind
what
of
he's
what
been
had
doing.
conspired. But from this
Yeah.
moment, we don't. And I feel that with the reaction that Poppy had when Cass was first taken, it was just like 23 days have passed and you aren't storming the freaking doors of, like, it was just, I don't know. I was like, this seems so strange to me. So much time has
Yeah.
passed and things would have happened, but
And they
I
keep
had a really hard
mentioning
time
like
here.
a plan that they have in place, but we don't get to hear anything really about
No.
the plan.
No,
It's kinda
and I
just
feel like
mentioned.
we never get to hear. It's almost like they then make a
Yeah.
plan, and then so whatever the original plan was, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
did not like it.
So my first note was Poppy not even allowing herself to think Cass's name. She just keeps referring to him
I
as like
hate
he
that.
or him.
Him.
Really?
Hate it. Hate it.
Why? Why?
I just feel like, I mean, I'm sure, like, obviously it's a coping mechanism, and obviously,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking, like, okay, it has been 23 days, and you can't even bring yourself to speak the name of the person that you love that you're trying to save. I don't know. I'm just like,
I think it breaks her
batty.
heart every time she
Of
hears
course
about
it does. Of course it does. But it just really, really bothered me. It almost separated her from Cass. It was almost like, oh, this person that I don't know, this whatever, to me, this is nothing. And like, to me, it separated them.
I think she was
in a
doing
way,
that on
almost.
purpose, though.
I know she was, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was. It made me
like this
angry.
is a similar
No, thank
theme. Like
you.
towards the end of the chapter, like I was like, the writing seems very different. Like
Me
the
too.
first
Hated
three
it.
books,
Oh,
and then you compare
Totally
it to like this
agreed.
chap. Like I didn't hate it, but I was
I
like,
hated it.
it very very like a huge shift in Poppy, and like I
Yes.
get it because a lot has happened, but I was like, this is very different.
Yep. I have
That's so
never
funny.
in my life, like, people talk about like DNFs or did not finish. Like, I would never do that.
Mhm.
Like, this was not like that. But I have never read a book, got so into it, and got to a point where I was like either bored, unimpressed, like I was just like, get on with it already. Like, my next note in this chapter is I am getting so bored with this chapter. It's taking too long to get into anything. All we're doing is recapping everything that has already happened. They're just slowly
There was
walking
a lot of recap.
along. And she's like, I could talk to this Wolven through his bond, but he doesn't really like talking that way yet. And I'm like, who gives a shit? And then she's like, oh, Valen said this about his son, and I hope it doesn't get to that where he would have to make, like, I know, we know this. Like, it has
think there
been
was-
23 days, and a whole bunch of shit has happened that you're not telling us, and you're like, oh, this Wolven doesn't really like when I talk to him through my bond. I'm like, that's what you're giving me right now? Like, I think I was at a point where there was so much intense shit happening, and it was just like, la-di-da-di-da. And I was like, move on with it. I need information, and I don't give a shit about what Valen already told you, and I don't give a shit about this. What happened in those 23 days? Why aren't you saying Cass's name? I am not happy right now. Oh, I was so annoyed. So annoyed.
I think I
But-
picked up on some of that because they're like at one point I feel like she says like, his father, King Atlantia, Valendir, like she says like his mother, like this, but I'm like, it's like we're being introduced to these characters like all over again. I was like, no one's
Yes.
picking this up in the middle of this book. But there are a few like little things where I'm like, this is odd.
It
Like
was driving me fucking bonkers.
I just-
Bonkers. His this, his that. And I'm thinking, okay, they definitely have a plan. But I don't think they did. This is the worst part. I don't believe that they had, like, you're telling me that their plan, we're talking here, okay, we're going to take Messina, and then we're going to take Oak Ambler. What are you talking about? You don't have a plan to go get Cass. Your plan is, how can we slowly take over, like, these little things until we get there? Like, he's been tortured for 23 days and you're worried about taking over Messina? I really had a hard time believing it. Like, I'm like, this is not what would happen. Why is it happening this way? And I was not happy about it. End rant. Sorry. Jennifer.
I
And you guys.
I will say this section of chapters, I felt, and see, I thought it was more because, like, full disclosure, I read all of these chapters today, like today. So, like, I thought when I'm making these notes and how long it's taking me to get through this, I was thinking, oh, it's just because like I left it to the last minute. I'm mad at myself for procrastinating so long, and I have to do it all now because I don't have a choice because we're recording tonight. But now hearing you guys talk about this, I'm like, oh no, maybe it was just the writing. Like maybe it actually was harder to get through this time.
I'm a
I
little
found it
worried
harder
too.
and longer. Like I found
Yeah.
these chapters longer than like they have been in the past.
Yeah.
And I accidentally read things, not about like spoilers and stuff, just people's opinions on things. And it also has kind of solidified some things for me, but I don't want to say it because I don't want it to like affect like you guys in anything that's like your opinions on stuff. But that as well, I think maybe this happened after I read these chapters, but I think it's kind of influenced my opinion a little bit, which is unfortunate, but
yeah, that's
anywho.
hard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
I wasn't like mad though. Like
One cool
I'm mad.
thing, though, we did learn in this chapter, because we had a discussion about this, I think, in the last episode. We found out the importance of the wooden horse. Remember? We're like, what the fuck is with this wooden
Yes.
horse?
Okay, if we found out the importance of this horse, it went over my head.
That is
What
so
is
funny.
wrong with me? But tell me what this horse is, because
Okay, so
no idea.
Malek had actually hand carved it for Cass for his 6th birthday and had given it to him.
Mhm.
So that's like Cass's present from his brother. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
This
I
was
don't think I knew this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It also, here's my
I was
problem too.
wondering-
Go ahead, Kristen.
I was just saying, I was wondering if there's foreshadowing that she chose a gift. I assume she knew. Like, she obviously knows. She
Yeah.
chose a gift that was Cass's, but one made by his brother.
And if
I wonder
he
if-
sees it, maybe it's gonna like snap him out of his
Bring him
stupor of this.
Yeah. Or even
Yeah.
just like Jennifer giving us like a little sliver of hope here.
Right?
Yeah. It's definitely significant of something, I think, because otherwise, what's the
Yes.
point in bringing it up?
Yeah.
God, I'm so annoyed with
So,
myself.
It was just a quick little sentence, and she said it like as if
Yeah.
we already knew the information. So, like, it would have been very easy to miss. I was reading this chapter though, so I picked up on it. I was like, oh. So they come up to the town of Messina, and
Messina.
Poppy can sense horror coming from Kieran. She goes to see what he's looking at, and it's a bunch of bodies that have been nailed to the limestone gates of the town, and their bodies are wearing absolutely nothing except for the same or a similar face veil that Poppy used to have to wear.
My
Yeah,
note on
that's
this
all
was,
kinds of
what
fucked
the
up.
fuck? These people are so messed up.
Right?
Yeah. And then
This
the guards are just like
whole-
nonchalant, like
Yeah.
chatting around these dead bodies, like as if it's not a big deal.
I think
Wow.
I really struggled getting through these first 2 chapters because it's like a lot of heavy stuff happens. Like
Yep.
we hear
Yeah.
about Cass being tortured. We see this happen and like everything else happening in that city. I'm like, there's so much heavy stuff happening. Like I just wanted to, when I'm done reading, I'm like, I'm gonna curl over and cry now. Like I'm gonna cry
I'm
myself.
gonna go
to
look at
sleep. It's
pictures of
okay.
puppies on Google.
Yeah.
Thing is, it's like this terrible, unthinkable things are happening while
Yeah.
people are conscious of it, and it's just like
Yep.
da-da-da-da-da, like as if it's
Yes.
like it's so normal to them. It's so normalized that makes it even more fucked up. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It makes it that much heavier that
Mhm.
is normalized in this society right now.
Yeah.
It's like
And like
holy
Poppy
cow.
even like it's kind of what starts the ether getting all worked up in her is like they're literally standing in front of the bodies, like hanging behind them, and they're like laughing and joking with each other, and she's like,
Yeah.
are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
you literally don't even care enough that you can joke around this. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Exactly.
So she gets all worked up, and Kieran is like trying to calm her down, and he's like, if you attack right now, like we don't know how many are there. We need to like scope it out and figure out, because if we attack, they're going to be alerted to our presence, and if we don't get them all, we're going to have problems. So like
Yeah.
we need to do this strategically and whatever. So this is the first time of many times in this set of chapters in which Kieran has had to walk Poppy off the
Poor
ledge.
Kieran. I feel
Or
so
back
sad
from
for
the
him.
ledge, I should say.
Yeah.
Not off the ledge.
Pushes her.
Ow, yeah.
Bye-bye.
So Delano goes around and does some scouting, and he can see that I think there was 20 guards. I didn't write down the number, but Poppy tells them it's time to move in. They pull up their cloaks to hide their armor, and Poppy makes note, I don't like this, that Kieran is not wearing armor, and Kieran says, well, it would be difficult for him to shift if he needed to, and then he says, not all armor is foolproof, and there are kinks in the armor that those warriors would know how to exploit. And I'm like, this is foreshadowing. I don't like
never even
this.
thought about that.
There's another point
I don't like this.
in chapter 6
Ooh.
that I'll bring up when we get there. That's the same
I
as
did
the
not
last
think that at
one.
all, but now you
And
you
it's
say
not the
that.
only time the no armor is mentioned. I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
I
No,
don't
thank
like
you.
it. No, thank you. No, thank you. And they take down all of the guards on the rise, and Poppy then starts melting iron, which is apparently a new skill she's learned, to the gates of the town with her power. And she makes note that even though she's a god, her hearing and eyesight are still annoyingly mortal. Which, when I first read this, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of funny, haha." But now I'm like, "Oh, it's probably because she hasn't finished the calling." Because we find out later
Yeah.
she hasn't
Good
gone
call,
through the
'cause
calling yet.
Atlanteans
She
have,
mentions
yeah.
it too many times.
Yeah, and that's probably when we'll find out for sure that she has, because she'll
Yeah.
be able to see and hear stuff better, I bet.
Yeah.
But when I first read it, I was like, "Huh, that's kind of funny." She still has shitty eyesight. But I'm like,
And I
"Nah,
never
that
thought
wasn't
about
put there."
that, but I think you're right. Like, I didn't even consider it to now, especially when they said you'll know. Like, well, when her
Yeah.
vision
Yeah.
changes, she'll be like, "Oh, okay, now I
Yeah.
I think she mentions
see."
it again in later chapters because I think I made a note like she's saying this too often.
So I have battle number 7 million, it feels like, because there was a lot in this chapter.
Yes.
When they're
So
attacking
repetitive.
yeah, it really was. It was a bit much. I don't mind a little bit of battle scenes in my books, but I felt like this was a little heavy in it, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to keep making notes. I'm like, another battle ensues,
All in the
another
same
battle ensues.
chapter. Exactly.
Yes,
It was like, move on with it already.
Yes. But
Guys,
Poppy makes
struggle.
note here, I did write this down, that they are to if any mortal or ascended surrender, they're to leave them be because they don't want to kill people that they don't have to. So she's
Yeah.
like, if they surrender, if they lower their weapons, like, we don't attack. And I'm thinking, well, if they just lower their weapons, it doesn't mean that they're on your side. Like, they could turn around and kill you after, but whatever.
Yeah.
Battle starts, they start killing guards. 5 of them surrender. You guys got anything in there?
Nope.
I
don't know
la-di-da'd a lot
where
through these
it's-
battles. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I same. Like,
A lot of the
my
same,
last notes are
honestly.
just
Yeah.
I'll wait till the
Okay.
end to talk about them.
I only
Other than,
have
go ahead. Yeah, go.
my only comment is like, and I think it's one of the guards where they talk to Kieran and they're like, they talk about Wolven as if they're dogs, and Kieran's like, I'm so
Yes.
offended, and I'm like, I might have made a similar comment. I'm sorry, Kieran.
You're just like, oh
Sorry,
shit.
Kieran.
I'm
Not
sorry.
real Kieran might be mad at me.
So after about battle number 700, they come into a room, like a dungeon cell thing, and it's full of a bunch of Craven all locked up. And I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And I think we find out later, like, those were some of the mortals that they just decided to feed on and they shoved in there because they didn't know where to put them. Like, I don't think they're always kept in cages.
No, see, I disagree. I interpret
do you?
it
Okay.
as they do that on purpose. And then when there's Craven attacks, they basically have a cell
Yeah.
of Cravens, and then they go, oh, we need to tell them that the gods are teaching them a lesson, and they purposely send all the Craven out. But no, so the Ascended just have them on standby in a cell, and they release them on the
Oh.
mortals, then go, oh my gosh, you made the gods angry, and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, so they can manipulate their word. I think it's all, like, there's a point where Poppy or Cass were like, oh my god, they're
Cass
keeping
does,
the
I think. I
Craven
remember
here.
that.
Like, that's, like,
Mhm.
it was kind of like, oh, this is where the Craven are coming from, and this,
Yes.
honestly
okay.
started theorizing here. Maybe people don't turn Craven from a bite, and maybe that's been a lie this whole time. And like, I'm like, could Craven be like starved Atlanteans because Cass went so crazy? Like, I don't really think I think that now, but at this moment I was thinking that, and that they just have a whole bunch of them and then they unleash them on people. But anyways, I do think that they have the Craven on purpose, and they basically have a farm of them to
I thought the same.
sick on the
Okay.
mortals.
Yeah.
I must have misinterpreted then. We'll go. That makes a lot more sense. So we'll go with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So they come up across the super crude guy. I didn't like him. I was glad they killed him.
Oh,
The one was like, why don't
He's
you
like,
just lay on your
suck
back
on
and
it
spread your
yeah,
legs?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
like, get out of here. Go
Totally
away.
agree.
Yucky.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dead.
So he dies. Yep. Dead. Goodbye.
Indeed.
Yeah. Sorry, Amanda. I think you're going to say something and
No, I'm gonna wait
cut
to
you
the
off.
end. I'll wait to the end. Yeah.
Okay. So Poppy says, like, to the others, like, if you don't surrender, you're gonna die. And they're like, oh, who do you think you are? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, little do they realize I'm the god that they're so afraid of. And another fight ensues. Shocker.
Fight number 70 bajillion.
Yeah. So, okay. So the Duke says that the only reason Poppy is still alive is because the blood that courses through her, not because she's a god. Poppy stiffens and says, if you say it's because of who my mother is, I will make sure that your death is not quick. So this is when and her voice got like super creepy. I was listening to this chapter. She got like super intense and like her whole demeanor changed, like
Yeah.
the narrators. But she's like so like icy almost, I guess. I don't know
Yes.
how to describe it.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm just gonna you're gonna die and it's gonna be painful and it must really suck to know that your death is coming, and like just like taunting the shit out of him.
But I have a note here that even to me, Poppy's character seems so different in a way. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I
Really?
understand, yes, like in a way to me right now, I'm like, oh, I don't really like where this is going. It just seems that she was so morally just. She was always tied by her morals and the innocent and power being used in the wrong way. And I just feel like everything Poppy was doesn't even exist right now. And like, hopefully as her powers come through, this will be like a learning experience and like we'll come out on the other side with like moral Poppy that has power, that's doing it for the right reasons. But I don't know. I really don't like the way that her character is going right now.
I think a
Personally.
lot of it is to like her own hurt, because her
Oh, for sure.
actions led to her
Mhm.
like the love of her life being captured, and I think she's feeling a lot of that guilt, and that's
So
how
did
it's coming across.
Isbeth's, though. Like,
I think
I
it's like a
just
little bit of self-hatred towards herself,
Yeah.
Like I feel like
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
like dead inside almost.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibes I was getting.
But I just, yeah, and I that's how I feel it's happening. It's just like that was happening to other people, and then she was like so not condoning their behavior and talking about it as if it was just unthinkable. It's almost maybe in a hypocritical way, the way that she's
Yeah.
acting to me, and I'm just like, you were always about how this was not like the way, and now you're behaving this way, and maybe that needs to happen for her to like grow from it and realize, okay, now I see why these people behave that way. I also have those feelings and I can come out on the other side. But it's just like, if there wasn't a Kieran and there wasn't a this and there wasn't a that, she'd be no different than Isbeth. Like, Isbeth didn't have a Kieran, so now she's just
Yeah.
evil. Poppy has that, so she's not. Like, I don't know, I'm having a really hard time with it. I hope that
Yeah.
I don't know. I
think
I don't
it's just
feel like
gonna
I'm
help her
struggling.
character arc.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a character arc, like especially
so.
to like we do see moments where she's like, I don't like
I'm
that I
not
did
my
that.
mother.
Like, yes, I'm
Yes,
not
yes.
this person. Like, she has those moments, and that immediately makes her different from.
Yes, I agree. I'm hoping that
I get how it's hard though,
because
like,
to
I
me,
do
she seems like a
see
totally
it.
different character to me. Like,
Yes.
if I
And
read
I think
this
right
in
now
a
she
different,
is.
it would seem.
She is.
And I agree. I think maybe I'm just sad because I love original Poppy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. Maybe
She'll
I'm
come back.
worried that she won't. I'm like, please
She'll
don't
come
get
back.
lost
She'll
to
come
your
back.
She'll
to your
come back.
godhood.
I think that like Cass is literally her center of gravity, and right now he's gone. And I think right now this is going to teach her to stand on her own 2 feet without that.
Hopefully.
And then when he comes back, because he's going to, we're gonna see that growth. Like, we're gonna see
Yes.
she can do it herself, and he's there now,
And now
She's
she knows she can
never-
do it herself, and I think that's more
Yes.
powerful than thinking you can do it by yourself.
And like
but now she
him being the
knows.
reason she could
Yes.
be
Right.
what she is, because she's
Yeah.
never not been the maiden without him.
Yeah.
No.
If that makes sense to
Yeah.
say, right? Like, she's
Yeah.
only been unveiled, we'll say,
Mm-hmm.
in the presence of Cass and like in with him in her life. So
in her life.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe
This is just gonna help her grow. This won't be
Just
her
gotta grow
endgame.
through it.
I hope so.
It's like growing pains.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's teenager, right? The culling. Maybe this is just a whole
Yep.
phase, and I'll get over it. But
We all had those phases.
yeah, that's true. I have some more notes here. Okay,
Oh.
so also, this is just kind of adding on to what I'm saying here. So nobody else has any more notes before I close her off? Okay. So the Duke is like saying a whole bunch of things about Poppy, and I feel like it's similar again to the whole Alistair message. And my note is just like, the Duke is literally right now in what he's saying. The way that Poppy is talking right now, she's turning into a monster. And I understand, and I don't believe that it's going to be end game, but it's just like, this is again so repetitive. And the amount of times that Kieran has to like walk her back from the cliff, it's just like, I hate how many times that has to happen. And it's like, how many times do you have to learn this lesson of like, I almost killed a whole bunch of innocent people. Okay, I reeled it in. I'm not like Isbeth. And then we do it again and again. But specifically, Poppy was speaking with the Duke, and he says things that were very similar to what Alistair and his people believe. Poppy then stabs him in his chest, and he dies. And This is a very important note that he made, or that was made in the book. Poppy held his stare as the tiny embers of ether went out of his black eyes, and only then, for the first time in 23 days, did I feel nothing at all. And I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about that when she says, I felt nothing at all? Do you think that's a good thing because of how she's been feeling? Do you think this is like a negative thing? Did you even really think much about it? Because I felt it
think
was
she
a
was just
very
like-
impactful thing. Like, she was
Yeah.
like, I watched the life, like, because to me, I was like, this is, again, a bad thing. She basically watched the life leave somebody's eyes, and I felt nothing. I didn't care about death. I didn't care about taking a life away from something. Like, that's how I took it, and I'm just like, no. But
I
was
think
curious.
it's how, like, because the gods were kind of described that way, right? Like they became so insequential with life and
Yes.
death that they didn't really care anymore. So I think it's
Yes.
kind of hinting towards that, but it's
Mhm.
not going to be how she ends up. I think it's going to be, holy cow, like I almost went there and I hate this and I don't want that for me. And I think
This-
it's just hinting towards that.
The scary part for me in that is that they talked as if it took the gods thousands of years
Yeah.
before they got to
I
this
didn't
point,
take it
and
that
she's
way.
coming into her godhood, and like that element is already there, and it like that I'm like, what?
I think
like
she just is like dead inside because Cass is gone and she's like, I don't give a shit about anything anymore.
Yeah, I took it like for the last 23 days, she's felt so much hurt and so much guilt and so much everything that killing this one person who was literally letting Craven and other Ascended torture people, like we hear the screams. That's
Yeah.
no big thing.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
like, I'm killing him. I don't feel bad about it because he allowed X, Y,
all
and
of
Z to
this to
happen.
happen.
But I took that as she's feeling nothing because she's not feeling sorry for the death, and it's distracting her from like the grief and the pain that she's feeling from Cass's absence.
Got you.
So I was just like, yeah,
Interesting. All right.
I get it. All right, so chapter 3. So we're back in Poppy's, or we're still in Poppy's POV. It's now 28 days since Cass was taken from her, and she's questioning her actions that resulted in her losing control and her part in Cass surrendering himself. And she seems to be struggling with the control of her like power.
Yes, she
So,
is.
I
That's
know
for sure.
my first note was like just reading how she's like, if she'd controlled myself, I'm like, I think we're getting hints that she's going to lose control.
Yeah, I
like,
think so too.
It's gonna
I
happen.
think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
She's gonna. I think
Do
we
you
kind of
think
talked about this. We're gonna grow
it'll-
through it, but
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get a moment where Kieran isn't able to hold her back,
Yeah.
and she will make
Yeah.
a big mistake and then
Yeah.
have to like live with
Mhm.
the consequences, and then decide like, am I gonna stay
or
evil
even like
or am I gonna
get
learn
to
from
that moment. Like if she
Mhm.
gets to that moment where she's like about to hurt innocence, and something's in her is gonna click, and that's gonna be her shit.
Her
like I
moment,
can,
yeah.
and then she'll talk herself off that cliff, and that's I think
See,
is
that's
what's
what
gonna
I
make
think
her
I need to
powerful
see.
as a
I think
character.
I need to see her talk herself off, because everything that's
Yeah.
happened, she's had somebody come save the day, whether it's Kieran in her ear, the Duke in her ear, the Revenant in her ear. So it's just like, I feel right now she's been totally out of control. But if she gets out of control and then is able to be her own reason
Mhm.
for coming back from that, I think that will be huge for me.
I think we're building
So-
up
Yeah.
to that. Like I think we need to see
I
that
think
like
so.
she
Yeah.
can't do it herself. She can't do it herself. She can't do it herself. So
And then
then
she
when she
does it.
does do it herself,
Yeah.
it's more powerful.
I think so too. I think it's gonna all come to like a crescendo, and
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, everything starts shaking because like I think she's making like the earth tremble, right? Is what I
Yes,
gathered from it.
Yep.
So like Kieran puts his hand on her hand and says like, you need to calm down, and he like flips her hand over so that she can see the imprint, and he's like silently telling her like, look, he's still alive, like you're
Mhm.
still in this together, he's still alive, like we're gonna get him back. And I'm just like, this poor
Yes.
freaking guy,
Yes.
and he is the one having to like
yes.
walk
I
her
literally
off
have
the
a whole
ledge.
note about this. It is so unfair. The way
Yeah.
Kieran is being treated. Poppy was always like to Cass. Cass was always like, how are you, Poppy? Are you okay, Poppy? Blah, 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 Poppy. And now Kieran's like, it's okay, Poppy. What about Kieran? Like, are you
I
kidding me?
know.
Nobody is here being like, Kieran, you have gone through hell and back multiple times.
I
You
know.
lived through Cass being already abducted once. You
And he
literally
could feel
couldn't-
it all the
yes,
first time.
he was
Yeah.
literally like bedridden, couldn't go anywhere because of how like what was happening to Cass was basically happening to him. So he
Yeah.
lived through all of that. And he knows what Cass has went through because he also went through it. But instead of like anyone protecting his feelings in this moment, he's just like, oh, it's okay, Poppy. But he's the only one that truly knows what Cass is going through and lived through that and feels as equally responsible, not responsible, but like upset, I guess. And it's just like nobody cares about Kieran.
I know.
And he has to just be this like stronghold for her. And I get that she needs it, but he needs it too. And it really hurts my feelings for him. I'm feeling hurt for Kieran. He deserves better.
Me too. I just
I
love
did
him.
not get that. Like,
Oh, I'm so mad about it. I will
over
rant
it.
about it later
Like-
probably because I wrote notes about it in future chapters. But like,
I
fuck,
think he
I'm
needs
so annoyed.
that. Like, he deserves better. But like,
Yes.
I also kind of had taken it like he knows what Poppy's been through because he's been through it before. So like, I thought it was kind of sweet that he's helping
Oh, it's
her
totally
go
sweet
through
that
that.
he is, but he shouldn't have to. Like he shouldn't have to constantly be, because he was that for Cass. He was constantly like that shoulder to cry on. That's not even the right word I'm trying to say here. He had to be strong for Cass. Now he has to be strong for Poppy. Like when does he get to just break down because his life has been total shit after shit after shit? Like who's being strong for Kieran? Poor him. I'm so sad. I wish there was like someone that could be strong for him and then he could be strong for the other people. But
Yeah.
I feel like he must feel so alone right now. Like so alone.
can't fill
He
from an
lost
empty
his
cup.
bond from Cass too. Like nobody has
Yeah.
really talked to him about that and how he must have feel like he's lost a piece of himself. But he can't talk about it because then Poppy's going to feel bad. So now he just has to feel that inside and not confide in anyone because then he'll feel guilty that he's making them feel bad.
Does he
Oh,
feel
poor
bad about
Kieran.
like the thing? I mean, this is
He doesn't
being
I think-
nitpicky.
Go
I
ahead.
don't think he feels bad about the bond because he has like they have that primal notum like the Miley saw. Like I don't think there was.
he necessarily. I think he would feel. I think he feels
I think he probably misses the connection
sad
still, though.
and misses the connection. And I
But
think
he probably
that
has that with
wouldn't-
Cass, so like it's or Poppy, so like it's different. But like
Yeah, but you've still lost something that you've had with someone your whole life, and maybe he doesn't care. But I'm saying no one's checking
because
in
that
on
connection between them, yeah, like the
And-
connection between them still exists. It's just not
Yes,
physical.
Exactly. It's not what the bond was, and I just feel like we don't even know if he's okay. No one is asking Kieran how Kieran feels. Poor
I
Kieran.
know.
I just feel really mad at Poppy for these chapters.
And I was like, I'm
hoping I'll
fucking
get
over this arc.
Yes, I am. But
Oh my God, I feel like I
also,
was like not reading this the way I should have because I'm like just okay.
I don't know.
speaking of Kieran, what is the deal with Revar and Kieran?
I want to see what's gonna happen between them two because I'm so amused.
That's the Draken,
anytime
right?
they interact. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember me saying I think Kieran is gonna be with a Draken? Like I feel like there's gonna be like some
Yes.
sort of love thing. I think.
What
so
if him and
happened.
Reaver end up together? That'd be kind of cute.
I
Because
think
was Reaver the one
there's-
he was having the staring match with in the tree?
I
Remember?
think
Yes.
So yes.
Yes.
I'm so curious because he seems like, oh, I don't want him around me. Oh, he's staring at me again. Like,
Like that's how I would probably act too at first if I was kind of into something and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know, like that's like the beginning of the nerves of a relationship, right?
Mhm.
That'd be really cute.
I'm so
I would,
excited
yeah.
to see what happens between them.
Yeah. Me too.
So I just have a note, and I think she's internal, like monologuing or whatever about this point, where she's talking about the Drakens, and she's just coming to the realization, like she's kind of comparing the primal notum compared to what the Drakens have with her. So she's basically realizing, like, my will, it's just automatically their will in the way that they're
Mhm.
connected, and how they basically just take on her intentions. Like she doesn't have to think about it or anything, and whatever she thinks, wants, needs, automatically the Drakens think, want, need. And she called it the primal essence versus the primal notum which is with the Wolven. So I just thought that was interesting.
And she asks him about it later too, right? Like, I think
Kind
she-
of, yes. And
Yes, she
he's
does.
yes, when he kind of gives a more of an explanation of things
When
and how
he's
they are and how
naked
she is
on top of the
Yeah,
pole.
naked
the booty.
Yes! God, see, we're all too similar.
I just listened to that again.
Naked the
Naked
booty.
the booty.
Shout out my daughter Greya for that one.
So funny. So funny.
So Poppy says that she doesn't like sitting there knowing that Vanetta and the others are risking their lives, and she's essentially being lectured about what she's eating here. And Kieran says, well, it's not like you haven't been doing anything. Like, and Poppy's like, well, yeah, like, because they've been rehabilitating the city. So we kind of found out a little bit about what's been going on in the last month. But like, they've been like fixing houses and roofs for the people because they've like taken over this town. Like it's now Atlantean
Yes.
flags, and it's the one
Yes.
that like Poppy redesigned that's hanging all over. And so like they got rid of all the Craven that were in the cells, and like they cleaned up the town and like have kind of rehabilitated some of the
Doesn't
homes.
it seem okay? Let's just flip this around. Poppy is in prison with the queen being tortured. You think that Cass is rehabilitating a town and rebuilding homes for people? Absolutely not! For 20-something days while he knows she's being tortured? It just seems like this is not what would happen. There's no way! I have a really hard time. I'm like, this is what we're spending our time doing right now? Oh, okay, I will try not to rant about it again, but
I love it. I love it.
moving on, continue.
No, that was all I had. I just thought it was interesting that they've like
Very interesting.
because like these
Almost not
people don't
believable.
exactly trust Poppy yet, and she's
Correct.
trying. So anyway,
I think it's actually like really important that she gets the trust of the people though. Like,
Yeah.
It is.
if she wants to take over, they have to like her. She's not gonna end up in a better spot.
exactly.
Long-term plan.
If she was to go in all guns ablazing to save her mans, like what if she gets captured too, and then they're really fucked?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. It seems to me in this
I
moment.
get how it's frustrating.
It seems also the way that this is being written that there is no plan right now on what they're actually going to do to save him.
Well, there is. We just don't know what it is because they
But
keep saying
they-
we got to stick to
but-
the plan. I'm like, I want to know what it is.
To me, I assumed the plan was to take Oak Ambler because they talked about that plan. And then they said, we need to take Messina first, so then we can take Oak Ambler. So I thought, okay, that's the plan. So he keeps
Yeah.
saying, stick to the plan. And I'm like, why is this the plan? Like, what's the plan to get Cass? Tell me that plan, so at least this plan can make sense, and I can stop being so mad that we're just ignoring Cass right now.
I know. I'm like, I assumed like the plan to take Oakley, Ambler, and Messina were then related to like they had to do
I
those
hope
two things in order
so.
to get Cass. Like,
But
and I
it's
looked.
taking too
I
long.
literally kept up a as I'm reading, I have the map open because there's also
Yes.
a map.
Ooh,
And so I'm like,
is this
okay,
the
if you
first
look
book
at
that map was
Spez's
also
end-
introduced?
Yes.
cool.
So if you look at Spez's end and you can see Messina, you can see Oak Ambler, and you can kind of see like Macedonia, and like you can see where they're going. And I'm like, okay, this is very helpful
Yeah, there's kind of a
to
path
see how the war
here
is going to
to-
go.
Okay, interesting. See, I see no map, but still, I probably wouldn't have helped me if I'm being honest. I feel a little spiteful in these chapters. I don't know if a map would have done it for me.
Amanda's like, storm the gates. Go get my mans.
And like, I don't even want them to go. Like, I'm not saying like go through, just kill people. Like, but there just seems to be literally no talk about saving Cass at all, and I'm bothered by it. Bothered. Can you tell?
Yes.
So mad.
Not
no,
at all.
I had no idea. That's so weird. See, this is coming out of
Weird.
nowhere.
Who would have
We
thought?
thought you were
Yeah.
totally fine with all this. Anywho.
I have the note about the widow. I just feel she's very important, and I feel a little justified in this. I think any of us could have thought this, but I was like, she either is going to stab Poppy in the metaphorical back, I didn't think actual back,
Ooh.
or
interesting.
she's something like a seer to send Poppy in the right direction.
Mm.
Those are my two
See,
thoughts.
I
I don't
had
think I'm
no
right on either
theories
of them.
about her. I was just like, who is this? Like, I just, but they're talking about a hunched figure that they, for some reason, refer to as the widow. And then what are our thoughts on this person? Because it just seems like such a passing comment. Oh, there's this random person that's here with us. We see all the time that was here before we got here and we took over. She's a widow. And then they don't have any suspicion. They're not worried about anything about that person. So I was wondering, like, is this someone that has lived in Messina this whole time and was just like here now? And why are they just randomly so trusting of some random, like, they just seem to like not care. And I was like,
Yeah.
this seems just strange,
I think the not caring was
to
like,
me.
okay, they don't care about her, so she's going to stab Poppy in the back.
right? Like,
We
very
didn't
valid
That's like
actually
in
thought.
consequence.
her. We didn't actually interact with her in this chapter, though, right? They just
No.
noticed her.
They
Okay,
just
so I was like, I
made
did
a
not write
comment.
any notes about her in chapter 3, and I'm like, did I put that in the wrong
No,
chapter?
they just
Okay.
said,
It's just like
there's
a
this
passing
hunched
comment.
lady.
Okay,
This is
okay.
what
We
we
call her
call
the widow.
her. She's always around. The end. I'm
okay.
like, that's really weird.
I know. I
Okay,
was like, that's
okay.
not a throwaway comment. She's coming back.
I do have a note here, and I also thought it was very ominous that they ask her what she's doing, and her answer is just waiting. and that they think she might not be a flesh and blood and that she's maybe a spirit. And I just felt like this is not a throwaway comment, but nobody is making any, like, it basically they're like, oh, weird, moving on.
Yeah, literally weird, but not important.
Yes, that's what they say. So
This is wild because, like, I did not pick up on this in chapter 3 at all. Like, when they said that she's a spirit in 4, I'm like, what? And you're just gonna move on?
Really?
Like, what? Did not pick this up in 3 at all.
Even in chapter 3, it was like, oh, maybe they're a spirit, and then they just moved on. I'm like, you suspect this, and that's not like red flags
Like,
to
is
you?
she corporeal? Like, what do you mean?
Yes. So, I can read this. I may say these names wrong. Allard is no longer standing there now. Emil and Vanetta were present. Instead, a hunched figure I'd become familiar with the past 5 days shuffled past the pillars. Emil had taken to calling her the widow, even though no one knew if she had been married. I wasn't exactly sure what she had done in the manor, as I'd only ever seen her walking about, sometimes in the ruins and the pines behind Cauldra, which led to Kieran being convinced that she was not flesh and blood, but spirit. I'd heard that Allard had asked her what she was doing here in the manor on the first day, and her answer was only that she was waiting. Weird, but not important at the moment. And then she just turns to Vanetta and continues having a conversation. And I was like,
Yep.
huh? That
Did
seems
not
like
pick up on
important.
that
Next.
at all. That is so
Like,
funny.
something really important to not just be
The
like,
way it's-
not important.
Yeah, I think the weird, but not important. I'm like, that's important.
Yes, right?
Weird,
Red
yes, but
flag.
very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Very.
Right before Vanetta comes up and talks to them, because you said that she's chatting with Vanetta about this part. I just wanted to put this in here, the Vanetta and Emil ship. I was like, oh,
Yes.
I love this. It was
That's
so
my
cute.
next comment.
Like
I
Poppy
love them.
smiling to herself.
Yes. But
So-
I'm really worried we're going to lose one of them in the war.
We
I'm
definitely are.
really desperately worried.
Yep, we are.
And
We're
I'm so
Emil.
sad. I'm pre-grieving that.
I know.
You're like, I'm already getting sad about it.
Yeah.
So are these the two that I was thinking might have been a thing when they were fighting those skeletons?
think
I
so.
couldn't
Yeah,
remember
you
if this.
did.
Yes.
I couldn't remember if it was Emil though. I couldn't honestly
Yes.
remember if,
You're
because one of them
right.
said like, you're beautiful,
Yes.
and she's like, you're awful or something.
You're
but
right. I forgot you
couldn't
said that.
remember if it was Emil though that was there.
It
I was
was.
starting to
It
doubt
was.
that. It was.
Yes, it was.
This
It
is
was.
another thing I struggle with is when there's so many names. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
who is who. I always forget. And
This is where like I would
forgot
struggle
you
with
said that.
audiobooks.
I
Because
think that makes
I feel
it
like
harder.
I hear them and then I'm like, oh, is that a word? But like when I read a book, when I read anything, I can visualize it. I can then visualize the words in my head.
Yes.
Like how
And
it's
that
spelled.
helps me a lot.
And the
yeah.
capitalization and like I
Yes.
totally
Yes.
like even seeing this Ireland was that I don't even know if that's how that's said. I listened to the audiobook and I don't know if that's how it's said. I don't even remember hearing of this person. So I'm like, who is this? So oh man, annoyed with myself. But anyways,
There was a lot of names added in this book,
Yes.
though, for sure.
We're just name dropping everywhere.
Yep.
And then just a little funny haha before we get into the guts of this chapter, but Reaver's like watching the interaction, like when Kieran is lecturing about the food and he's like chuffing and like laughing along as if he's part of this conversation. And Kieran turns to him and says, would you like me to pose for a painting so you can stare at me whenever you want? And I was like,
yes.
This is the equivalent of like take a picture, it'll last longer.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
That's hilarious.
I just thought it was really
I
funny.
forgot about that comment.
Me too, actually. It's so funny.
So now
I
Vanetta
have-
comes back and Poppy is asking if
Yep.
everyone made it back safely. And she's like, oh, you were worried about me. And yeah, anyway.
Do
I
you
have
any
feelings about
more
Vanetta.
About... Oh no, I feel like they're not good feelings. Oh
They're not.
no! Now you're gonna make me sus of her.
I'm sorry.
Let's hear it so I can be depressed.
I'll
about
get
Give
it.
us
I'll
a
get
moment
into
to
it later.
pre-grieve.
Yeah, I'm just warming the waters up. I'll get into it later.
Oh no!
I'm
I think I
sorry.
already. Now that you, well, it's funny. Once you plant a seed, I'm like, and I start like thinking about things too. So I have a note here about Vanetta explains like how her mission went. So she was basically going out to the people and just giving them a warning saying, this is who we are. We are here. We want to take over the Blood Crown. We want to do this as peacefully as possible. We don't want to like kill and all of this. So like, here's your warning, like either get out of the way, so you can be safe.
Yeah, like leave or like
Yes.
their battle is coming.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like some people were like believing and were like started to pray and other people were not believing. And I had a comment that was about the people praying as soon as they heard that Poppy was a god. It's interesting because I think Kieran is the one that says, like, oh, I bet you some people went down on one knee when they heard that Poppy was a
Hit the
god.
ground.
And yeah, and Vanetta was like, yes, actually some of them did. And Poppy was like really shocked about this. I just think it's interesting that Poppy is a god. Like that's fact at this point, right? Like that, as far as I'm concerned, that's fact.
It's canon.
And yes. And these people in the streets bowed to their knees and were praying to Poppy. Why didn't Poppy hear the prayers? Like, is there no...
I wondered
when
that
you
too.
pray to a god, is there anything to that anymore? Like, I just thought it was interesting that she made a point to say they prayed and then Poppy didn't
had
hear
no
any
idea.
prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you have to be in Elysium to hear them.
I
don't know. I'm literally just... I did not think this.
I was like, weird.
I wondered the same
Maybe
thing.
prayers don't actually reach the god?
Or she hasn't gone through the culling yet, so she's not like, there
Maybe.
yet.
I never thought of that.
Maybe it's to do with the hearing. Because how she says, like, how her hearing isn't good or whatever.
Ooh.
Maybe it's something with that.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, I like that.
I'm only thinking of these as you come up. All that's what you're talking about this. All I'm thinking in my head is praying to a God that I don't believe in.
Another
so
song
funny.
reference for the night.
That's all I can think of as you're talking about
That
this.
is so
I'm like,
funny.
no.
That's so
Valid, though.
funny.
But yeah, that was just, it stuck out to me. I'm like, they prayed to you. You didn't hear them. Huh. But I
Yeah.
like that culling kind of theory about that.
Look
Maybe
at
it'll
us
turn into
coming up with
something.
stuff on the fly.
Whoop, whoop.
I just thought it was kind of cool though how Vanetta had said, like there was people out there that like are happy to hear that something is being done about it, and like there are people out there that don't view giving their children away as like this almighty honor.
Yes.
Like I was like, that's kind of nice. Like I assumed.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice to hear like, yeah, like no, I actually
Yeah,
talked to a
see
bunch
that
of people
proof.
and they yes.
It's validating that they're doing the right thing, that there is innocent
Yes.
people here
Yes.
that don't support what's going on, that have
Yes.
no choice because they were born into this.
Yes.
And you're giving them an option of a life
it's proving
of
Poppy's
freedom.
point right.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, like she's literally being proven right and saying like, yes, like if you give people another option, they might take it. Like
Yes.
And
it's
even
worth
if
trying.
None of the ascended are good. There is a hell of a lot more mortals there that don't want to follow them. Like even those mortals that are good are worth doing this, even if all the ascended can't be convinced otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't have anything else for this chapter other than the chapter ends.
Samesies.
I don't either. So, chapter ends with Poppy reading the missive they received from the... I wrote Duke and Duchess.
Yep,
Oh,
that's right.
yes.
Of this area. Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
confused me too. I'm like, the Duke
Same.
is dead.
I'm
like
like,
so the
what?
Duchess at this point, but yes.
Like, was I like hallucinating here? But so they're reading the missive from the Duke and Duchess, stating that they agree to none of their demands, meaning they're about to take on the city and hope to claim it.
Yep.
And one note on that before we move on to 4, Emil was like holding the missive the whole time, and like
Yeah.
when he says it,
Oh,
and I was
yes.
like, "Really? You're just bringing that up now?" And he's like, "Well, you were hungry. I wanted you to eat first." I was
Right.
like, "Oh
I
my
forgot about
God."
that.
I love them.
I know. I
That's
thought it was
very
funny.
cute.
Okay, so chapter 4. This starts with Poppy dreaming of her parents' death. I put in quotes again. She remembers a faceless man as well this time, and her papa's friend who was supposed to help them. And the friend comes into the room, sees the faceless man, stumbles, turns and runs away. And Poppy is thinking, why is he leaving? He's supposed to help them. Poppy realizes that the Dark One is there, which, like, has she ever realized that the Dark One in her dream before? I felt like that was new.
Yes, she has.
The Dark,
She has.
Yeah.
She has? Okay.
Yep.
Poppy realizes the Dark One is there, the faceless one, the faceless man, and I put a quote. The Dark One stood above me, his face nothing but shadows beneath a hooded cloak. It wasn't his hand at my throat, but something cold and sharp. He didn't move. His hands trembled. He shook as he spoke. His words faded in and out. I heard Mama say in a voice that sounded strange and wet, "Do you understand what that means? Please, she must." Good gods, the man rasped, and then I was floating and drifting, surrounded by a scent of the flowers the queen liked to have in her bedchambers. What a powerful little flower you are. What a powerful Poppy. Pick it and watch it bleed. Not so. And then Poppy wakes herself up. So in this particular part, because I copied and pasted this from the book, so I know I didn't misspell this. It says powerful. It didn't say powerful.
No, It did
before.
not.
It
It
was
was different this
pretty.
time. Yes.
Yes. Because the first time it was, what a pretty little flower. What a
Yes.
beautiful poppy. What a pretty poppy. And this time it's powerful. And I'm like, interesting change of words. Because at first I
Yeah.
thought, did I write that down wrong? But no, I literally copied and pasted it from my Kindle.
I also wondered if watch it bleed is maybe not the right word, and we're going to learn that that's something else as well. I don't know
Maybe.
why,
Yeah.
but reading this, I thought that like that's going to change too eventually. But
Yeah.
I really loved that we were starting this chapter off with this dream, and I finally
Yes.
felt like now we're getting somewhere again. Now we're progressing into the story. We're getting more information. And I was like, thank you. Oh, so happy.
I
So,
was
yes.
like
So happy.
crying. Like I reading this scene
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
just imagining like my baby feeling that way. And I'm like,
Right. Oh, it's
I was stopped, like I'm crying in my bed and I'm like, this
I know.
hurts so much.
I know.
Yeah.
Being a parent really changes perspective.
It was like, oh.
oh,
And then I did think she mentions the dark one, and I was like, do we think the dark one is perhaps Malik, like the brother?
Oh.
I don't know. Could be.
I don't know, but that was just a thought. A little,
just feel like-
sprinkle in the crock pot.
Sprinkle.
Little seasoning in there.
Yeah.
We're getting like little bits of information that lead me with more questions and less like,
know.
oh, this makes sense. Because it sounded like Papa's friend wasn't Alistair. I could be wrong on this, but because we kind of thought Alistair was the one that was there and betrayed them, right? And maybe killed
Mhm.
tried to kill her or what have you. Or he left
Yeah.
her because he thought the Cravens were going to kill her or something like that.
Mhm.
But it seems like Papa's friend that was there was supposed to help them. And then he saw this faceless thing and then left. It was almost like I
Yes.
came to help and was like, whoa, shit,
Oh,
never mind.
shit.
Like, that's kind of
Yeah.
the vibe I got.
Yeah.
And then we heard about the dark one previously. I think the most recent dream before this one was when we first heard of the dark one, because it was around the same time that the unseen came. And Poppy said when she saw whoever was the controller of the unseen, she said he was dressed like the dark one. And I was like, how does
that's
she know what the
right.
dark one looked like? But it was because in her
Yes.
dream,
Yes.
she had like seen the dark one or something like that.
Yes, you're
So,
right. I
like,
forgot about that.
That's,
yes.
I still don't know. I don't know, like how that's connected. Maybe it's Iris even, or Malik. I don't know. I don't know. But
I know.
it's
I
very
was just in the
confusing.
middle. I'm like, maybe this is a possibility.
Right?
I
Who
also had a
freaking
thought too.
knows?
So
I
like
was trying to
when
distract
he-
myself from sad.
Yeah. Think happy thoughts. Think happy thoughts.
Yeah, literally.
So when it mentions the like the Papa's friend or whatever comes in and sees the man and then stumbles and says like good gods or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of think, and I think we're gonna find out later, that he's not stumbling and running away because of the man. I think it's probably Poppy showing off some of her power. Because the mom's like,
Ooh,
don't
I'm
you
getting
see what this means? Like,
goosebumps.
don't you understand? So,
Like, that's
I
why
feel
I'm
like,
doing this. That's why I'm running
Yes,
away with her.
yes.
I just got goosebumps. Never
so I
even
think it's more
considered that.
something like Poppy's, like, without even realizing it, or like her, because in the
her
same
heightened
dream,
emotions.
yes. And I'm like, oh, so she had it even when she was a kid, because she mentions in her dream she can sense a feeling from someone. I forget who it was.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like even as a kid, she obviously had that. So I think she was releasing something. And the guy's like, oh my God.
Interesting.
And that's what made him run away. Because he's like, holy shit. Like, this is not what I thought this was.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I could be
Huh.
way off,
That's a
but
good
that was
thought.
No, I
Kinda
think
what
that
I
that's
took.
super, like, that makes the most sense so far. I think of anything that, like, I have considered what's going on here, that checks out.
So she wakes up in her bed from this dream, and she senses like movement at her leg, and I was like, "Oh, she got a cat or something." And then I'm like, "Oh, it's Kieran." I don't know how I feel about this.
Interesting. So I started off feeling really great, and then I started off ranting. But my first really great thought is that I actually thought it was a growth moment for Poppy here, with the realization that Kieran was sleeping close to her in his woven form. Because then she had an internal monologue again about how she was like, I made the mistake once in my life questioning
Yes.
Tawny's relationship with me, and that it
Yes,
wasn't
yes.
true, and she was only here because she had to be, and she was like, I am not going to make that same mistake twice. Kieran isn't here because he feels obligated to protect me. He's here
Yeah.
because that's what he genuinely wants to do because he cares about me as a person. And I was like,
Right.
yes, Poppy, thank you. And then shit got weird.
Yeah, like he even my next note is like Kieran says, or what Poppy says, he says that this is where I choose to be,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I was just like, chapter 4 is attacking me, and I don't like it. Don't
Yeah.
like it. But then I'm like, yeah, and then she like pets him, and I'm like, my heart, like it's just like
I know.
comfort for both of them, and I was just,
I know.
After that,
I was
it
trying to,
me
like-
got weird, and I was like ranting about
Listen,
it. But I'd love to hear what
I
you
was
Okay,
guys
too
think
sad.
before
I
I
was
get
just like,
into
I'm
it.
gonna take the happy thoughts.
Oh,
Okay,
went
so
into
I
it.
think I took an opposite path on this emotional journey than you two did, because in this
Is there an
moment,
opposite? Because I'm
no.
not happy with it. She is happy with it. What are
Okay,
you
okay.
thinking?
Oh no.
Okay. So I'm reading this part and I'm like, oh God, I don't like this. This is just hinting at the joining. I don't like this. He's in her bed. I don't like this. This is
no,
gonna
he's
like
not in her bed. Was he?
yes.
Yeah,
in
he's
his
laying at her
woven
hip.
form. In his woven form.
Oh, I
But
did
yes.
not know he was in the same bed. I
Yes.
thought he was like on the floor beside her bed.
No.
Does
No,
it
no.
specifically say in the bed? I thought she just
Yeah.
said was lying close to her.
I'm
guess-
Movement
pretty
by her hip.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
pretty-
So, like, he's
no,
touching
I'm
her.
already changing my mind on this because my
Okay.
next notes. Oh no, Katie, no.
Okay, so when I'm reading this, I'm like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. But I will say that I feel like though they get more touchy-feely and like hands-on and like supportive towards the back end of this section, I feel like it's less creepy, and I was
I agree.
less creeped
I
out.
do
Okay.
agree with you.
Okay,
in
okay.
that.
Because I
Yes.
was way more bothered here than I was like say at 7.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
7, I was
Okay,
like, I
okay.
feel good.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
I think
We're on the
I'm
same
the
page then.
opposite there.
oh,
Okay,
you
so
feel
Kristen's
worse about it
opposite.
later? You feel, oh my
Oh,
gosh, interesting. Okay, I
funny.
can't wait to hear that then.
But
I
then
need to
okay,
make
so
sure
then,
that he's not in the bed here. Are you freaking sure? I literally just thought he was like beside the bed. Like I'm thinking where my dog sleeps, which he sleeps right beside her bed on the floor. Oh,
yeah,
so
this particular moment, I'm like, no, don't like, no, thank
do
you.
you have comments on
I
like
just
the
thought it
other
was
things too that happen
so-
right after that are like questionable? If not, I'll get
Uh,
into it. But if you
yeah, go for
do-
it. Yep, no, you go.
Okay, so I thought it was really cute because I thought he was sleeping beside the bed. So that's already
On the
changing my
floor.
mind on this. So then I may be alone on this, but I'm like, what the fuck is Poppy talking about? How she started taking birth control, these herbs or
Oh,
something,
yes.
because it got brought up here that
Because Cass won't be
she-
able to while
there was
he's
something that Kieran was going to give her
the
or
sleeping
something.
one.
Yes, the sleeping one. And she made a point to say, like, I
Yes.
can't take this because I'm taking this other herb.
I don't think.
And-
I think she didn't want to.
Or
She
something
didn't
like
want
that.
to.
But-
yeah.
but
And
right,
she
so
doesn't
she was-
she doesn't like feeling vulnerable if she's knocked out essentially
Yes.
all night.
Yes. But I feel like
and like
she
I think
also
she was
brings
forced
up
to
this-
with the other
Yes,
Duke.
She was.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I'm thinking she's making a point to say, in this moment, I am taking
Birth
birth
control.
control. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are you taking birth control right now? Because you have been away from Cass for over 23 days. And
28.
now you're sleeping closely to Kieran and making a point to comment that you were on birth control. What is going on here? Is there something assumed going on between Kieran and Poppy that I'm not aware of? So that's first where my head goes. And then I said, that's weird. Cass hasn't been around for months, blah, 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 blah. Then she starts imagining having children and imagines Kieran knitting. And she thinks, oh my God, that's so cute. And she starts imagining Kieran having a child as she's talking about being on birth control. And I'm like, am I the only one that is feeling like they're trying to subconsciously make us think that they're doing something together or starting to have thoughts about doing something together with babies and they're sleeping near each other? Either way, I put, please no. I hope this is my mind going in a really wrong direction that nobody else is thinking, and I'm overthinking all of this. But
I did not go there. I was just
I
like, it's
don't-
cute. I thought it was very cute that they were like getting comfort from each other that way. I'm like, this is very like, it's not. I mean, he could sleep naked next to her or in his human form next to her, but he's sleeping in like the woven form, creating like a little bit of a divide between the human connection there. And then I've like was like, oh, she's just, she hasn't had hanky panky for a while. Like, girl got needs, so she's like, I need to prepare for when I can sate those needs.
Because
And
when
That's
she gets
true.
them,
Like,
it's
who
bang,
knows,
and, like,
who
maybe-
knows how
bang,
long
bang.
it takes to
Maybe-
kick in, right?
yes.
Maybe like I'm like,
And
well,
then I
okay.
was like, oh, and then she's imagining Uncle Kieran. It's very cute.
Ugh.
I
Yeah,
had
I
that
like
all
Uncle Kieran.
separated in my head.
Well,
I
and
thought it
she
was
makes
very
a note
cute
too
picturing
in
Uncle
her.
Kieran.
Yeah, that would be adorable.
It would
In
be.
her internal monologue about the birth control, though, Amanda, like this might make you feel better. She says specifically because Cass obviously hasn't been able to take it while he's been held captive. And so she's like, essentially insinuating, like, I'm not waiting for that man. Like, the second I see him, I'm banging him.
I hope that you're right. Because then I have a little addition here. Kieran had a fresh lemony curiosity scent. That's for you, Katie.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. And then I put, oh my God, you guys, I can't handle this. She is now petting Kieran. And then she says, oh, he thinks this is just for him, but this is for me. I also need and crave touch right now. Touch is such an amazing thing. I swear to God, if her and Kieran bang, I will rage quit. That's my last
Amanda
note.
will DNF. Well, it'll just be a two-person
will
pod from here
literally
on
do
out.
it. Oh my gosh, she's like, this touch is such a wonderful thing. I'm like, what is wrong with you, lady? I understand it's been 23 days or whatever, but get your damn paws off Kieran before I come through that book and rip you off of him. Oh my God. Not happy.
Kristen, for our audio listeners, Amanda said petting and Kristen just died. Like she hit the floor laughing her ass off. Kristen lost it at petting.
That's what was happening. Like, quit petting that man.
Oh, I look up and I do not see Kristen on my screen anymore. She's gone.
Because it's just like yelling about this, and I'm like, Poppy petting Kieran, fuck, I'm like, can this chapter hurt me anymore? Like, I was
You are like emotional, like this is the cutest, nicest thing, and I'm like, quit banging each other.
and like, it's just oh my god.
Interesting how two interpretations of a book can be. I don't think there's a single chapter in this book I didn't rage out. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me in these 7 chapters, but this is what, chapter 4? And I have raged something in every single one of them.
Okay, man.
I don't know. 3 books at one time. It is really not good for me, apparently.
I'm not stressed out. Why would you ask?
What are you looking at? Oh my God.
I'm like opposite because I'm like, I'm imagining like, you know, when I'm sad, like Finn comes over and I pet him and like he likes the pets and like petting him gives me a sense of comfort. And I'm like, and it just makes me think like, and maybe it's just different, but I'm like, sometimes like I just really want a hug and like no one's here to give me a hug and like, but I crave that. And
I agree.
I was just thinking, oh, Poppy has that and it's so
But
sweet.
people aren't saying if you bang your dog with someone else, they can live your length of your life, and it makes me nervous. Just like, please.
But you're making it sexual when it's not.
She was talking about birth control, Kieran having a baby, and then petting him and talking about how much he loves touch. And I was just nervous because Jennifer is all about hinting about the joining. And I'm like, do you know what? I think if there was never a comment about the joining prior to this, I bet you none of this would seem weird to me. But I just feel that she's trying to plant those seeds. So anything at all, I'm just like, nope, this is dangerous territory.
No, thank you.
And I apologize that I'm taking the sweetness away from you for you.
You're not. My feelings are still valid for me, and yours are still valid for you.
I'm still thinking it's cute.
Fantastic.
Anywho, rant over for now.
My next note is her reading the tomes in the library. Do you guys have anything?
Before she gets there, I was just like, I can't help but wonder what she's going to find in the library. If it doesn't feel like she's alone in there, like she already has that sense, and I'm like, something's happening.
I actually didn't. I was like, oh, it's probably just because there's lots of books here and they're old. I didn't even think twice about the I don't feel alone here, which is so dumb. Like,
you were probably
was
still
very
like
suspicious.
stressing about Kieran.
Yeah, I'm like, get out of that room, Poppy, and go do something else. My God.
Thank fuck.
My God. Go, like, friggin', what is that called when they say we had to take care of your needs? Go take care of your needs, Poppy.
Which
Please.
needs you referring to, Amanda?
The ones you think. Those ones. The ones that'll keep your paws off Kieran. Go do what you need to do. Please and thank you. Oh my God.
Oh, my cheeks hurt from smiling. Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Poppy sneaks out of her bed that has a wolf in it that Amanda's not happy about. She goes into the library, and is reading tomes about like history, and it's like like listing like murders and marriages and births and all this random stuff. And she reads a part where it talks about rites and ascension and chosen one. This is chosen one is brought up again.
Mhm.
And the dates that like these are logged in this ledger are like before the ascended existed. So up until this point, the belief is that like the ascended were created by, or sorry, the ascended created the right to use as like their method of
Mhm.
stealing children. And like obviously they were the ones to come up with the idea if this existed prior to them existing. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Do you recall, because I don't accurately recall this, when they first talked about the first maiden, like the Duke and Duchess way back, they would say
Yep.
things like she got herself killed by the Dark One, right? Because of
Yes.
whatever. Did they ever confirm? Did the Duke and Duchess know the maiden? Like, did they exclusively make it seem like they had the maiden, or just that
Yeah.
the maiden existed prior but might have been at the capital or somewhere else?
No, they did, because remember when she was in the room with the Duchess and like the Duchess like breaks the chair because she's like so freaked out, and she's like no, like you can't, like this is exactly how it happened the last time, and like she's insinuating that like Poppy's on the same path that the previous maiden was on.
Right.
And she's like, you can't let the Duke know that like essentially your powers are progressing, and like because this is how
Do
it
you
went down the last time.
I didn't take
Do
that
you
as
think
like
there's
they
a
knew the
yeah,
first
but do you
maiden though.
think that there's a world in which, because when she first read this book about the initial rites and it said something about the chosen one or something, right?
Yeah,
I thought to myself
or being chosen
about the
anyway.
first maiden, that being chosen. I was like, okay, is this reference to the first maiden this long ago? And then I got thinking, is it possible that she's going to find documentation about the first maiden, whatever killed her? The Dark One or what have you. Is it possible that those stories have just been told to the Duke and Duchess, so they were fearful of Poppy going down
That
those
she was on that
paths?
path.
Yeah, do you know what I'm
Maybe.
Mhm.
saying? Like that she wasn't actually there. So I kind of was thinking maybe she, like I thought here she was going to learn about the first maiden. She didn't, but that was kind of where my first mind went. But I also was like, I can't remember if she actually lived, like if the Duke and Duchess had exclusively said that she lived in there with them, or if it was just comments in passing about what had killed her. Or
I think that's what I took
them.
from the conversation, but I might have just misinterpreted
I don't think it's
it wrong.
exclusively said we knew her.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think
Maybe
it's
just how
I don't
took
think
it then.
it's exclusively said, but maybe they talk about it like they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I remember one of our theories and stuff was like, oh, like maybe he was in love with the first maiden. And like, that's why
Yeah.
he's mad.
Exactly.
So like I was very much under the impression that he knew her, but that might have
I
just
was
been my
too
impression.
until this. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe like, but I don't think that now. But that was just my initial thoughts reading this when she, like, I thought she was going to continue reading and then she was going to learn about the first maiden, but
Yeah.
she didn't. So
I mean,
was
there's
like, oh, never
clearly
mind.
information here that she's never seen before, and like Kieran
Yes.
hasn't seen before. So like, I kind of hope
Mhm.
she does some more research in this area.
I also go ahead.
Nope, you go.
I was just thinking that like maybe what's happening right now is because she talks about like that the rites obviously existed and maybe the ascended knew and are like using similar practices. And I was thinking to myself, maybe what's happening right now is history is repeating itself because Nektos had said that Niktos is a primal. And Nikto said that he was a primal and that they had all the gods killed because of like, they were doing really terrible things, right? And I don't think it exclusively said what those terrible things were and that he basically had to step in and like wipe them out. Maybe this is what those terrible things were. And because he even was like, oh, I know what the Revenant are and all of that. So maybe this is exactly the same thing happening again with a new like set of not gods, what's the fake false god or what have you, but like and now the revenants are back, and like it almost seems like it could be history repeating itself. And then that's why Nikto said to Poppy, he's something along the lines of like, I'm so sorry that you're gonna have to like live through this or whatever, when she started speaking of the revenants. Like I wonder if there's something like that's gonna happen.
I was kind of wondering too, because I said like it makes sense that the revenants are older, because Niktos mentioned them. Or Niktos or Nektos, I couldn't remember who.
Yeah.
Like one of the ends.
But they knew about it and what they were. They were very like,
I didn't assume this was like a bad revenant in a way. Like the way I read this, I didn't think that like it's kings making revenants like Isbeth is. Like it's because it's like ascension of the chosen. Like it almost seems like it's an honor.
Yeah, it could have
and,
actually.
Like maybe there's
you're right.
something like it's a twist on it.
It could have been a totally great thing, and then the Ascension took that and turned it into something terrible, what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Which honestly probably is the case. Yeah. Let's be real.
Trex.
Yeah.
So my next note's about the hunched lady. So
yes, me too. Yeah.
I thought she was already here, but I was like, maybe the widow's in there. I'm like, oh my god,
thought
it's the
that
widow.
before?
I have before. Oh my god, it's the widow, and I'm like, it makes sense that the revenants are older.
Interesting.
I don't
Good
know.
For you.
I don't know.
So Poppy starts saying like these dates are so old. Like this must have been like the gods were still awake, like before they went to sleep. And like the woman comes up and she says they're older than sin and most kin, but not as old as the first mortal, birthed from the flesh of a primal and the fire of a draken. And I'm like, what?
But not as old. So the first mortal happened before these books were written.
Correct.
Born
but not as old as the first mortal, birthed of the flesh of a primal and the fire of a draken.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I feel like it's hard to even wrap my head around.
Right? I know.
What's happening?
So this is when we find out that her name is Vesa. Vesa?
Yep. Vesa. Yeah.
I wondered if she was a revenant off the bat, and I'm like, no, that's not right.
Ooh.
I wondered that too, Kristen, because she says, like, she tries to reach out with her senses, and it's a very faint reading. Like, there's something there, but it's not like
because that was
intense
and
clear. Yes. And then she says, Poppy wonders to herself, like, oh, maybe it's just because she's so old. Like, maybe it's something to do with her age. Like, and I put, I don't know. I feel like it's something else. Like, maybe she's a revenant. Like, I had the same thought.
And then she also mentions, she catches a
stale
scent.
Yes.
I'm like, didn't the Grimms had the stale scent of lilacs? So I'm like, there's something happening here. And I wonder if she's a version of that.
You guys, man, I was not. I was like, maybe it's the maiden, and that was it. You guys are critical thinkers over here.
I put the same thing.
Fair,
I'm like,
on
stale lilacs? Stale lilacs?
I was wondering if it was like stale lilacs come from Elysium, and she's stale, but maybe it's not like that god scent if we're on the lilac god thing. And I'm like, there's something here.
So Poppy asks Vesa what she's doing there, and Vesa says she serves the blood, or she serves the, what did she say? She serves the, I didn't write that down.
She says, she doesn't say what she's serving. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay. Maybe that's why I put she just serves.
I'm waiting to serve, I think, yes.
I serve still.
I serve still. That's what it
still.
is. Yes, that's what it is. And then Poppy's like all offended, thinking she means the blood crown. And she's like, well, you don't need to serve them anymore. And she said, you silly girl, like, I serve the true crown of the realms. And like, I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, she's going to serve Poppy. Like, that's
me
what she
too.
means.
I'm like,
she's going to
serve
serve
good,
Poppy.
the gods or whatever. Yeah. Like,
yeah. And then I was listening to it at this point, and I'm like, did they just say she stabbed her? I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Same. I was so confused.
But her exact
I also
quote
called
was,
her stabbing Poppy in the metaphorical bag.
I
She
don't
did
know
attempt.
how you got that. That is like amazing. Like, I was so shocked by it. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I thought she was going to be like, oh, like, I'm here to like predict the future, and like, I've been waiting for you. You're the sign of it. Like, I thought it was going to be this whole Team Poppy thing, and it was very not. Very not. But
and she calls her the harbinger of death and destruction, which is what the dissenters used.
Yes. So her quote is, the one who was blessed, one born from a grave misdeed of a great and terrible primal power, with the blood full of ash and ice. Her words rattled her entire body. The chosen who will usher the end, remaking the realms, the harbinger of death and destruction.
Which is
And
confusing because she says that I'm serving the new leader of all of this. And then in
Yes.
my opinion, her description of that being Poppy. Go
Nope,
ahead and
it's
say
not.
it. You just all of a sudden.
Remaking the realms? Who's remaking the realms right now? Friends?
Isbeth.
Bum bum bum.
Because that's what she said to Cass, right? You guys are going to help me
Yep.
remake the realms?
Yes.
Yep. I just
The
connected that reading that out
true
loud.
bringer of death
The
and
chosen
destruction.
one who will usher in the end, remaking the realms, the harbinger of death and destruction. That's Isbeth. She's talking about Isbeth.
And that's who she serves.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's why she stabs Poppy, which makes a lot more sense.
And that's who Alistair was talking about and probably didn't even
Yep.
realize he was talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was
And
helping her.
he probably told this to Isbeth, and Isbeth was probably like, I know it's me, but I'm going to make you
Yeah.
believe in. Interesting.
Yep. 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 I have a feeling it's Isbeth. So I have Kieran walking in next. You guys have anything before then?
Nope.
All right. So Kieran walks into the room and says, do I even want to know what's going on here? And Poppy says, well, nothing, except she just tried to stab me. And Kieran says, that doesn't sound like nothing. And then the old lady's like, Highbringer! Highbringer! Like screaming it like a crazy lady. Poppy says to Kieran, like, hey, like you could come help me. And he says, hell no, I'm not getting near that thing. She's a how did they say it, man? Laurier?
That I have no idea.
No idea. Take your best guess. When Poppy asks what that is, he says, it's a spirit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because this is the first time I'm experiencing the word spirit. And I was like, we're just going to leave it there. Okay, cool. Bye.
All right, whatever.
So
I
Nail
love
comes
how
in
like
next.
casual he was about it. Like I feel like the scene went very serious. Like, oh my gosh, Ascensions, right? Chosen, and then it's just like Kieran's like, Niall, come deal with this. Like it went from like very serious to very
Yes.
casual.
Yeah.
Like, can you please escort this woman from the building, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, and I thought it was funny because Poppy says, like, do you want to help? Are you going to just stand there and watch me get yelled at by an old woman? Kieran says, is there a third option or something? I thought it was so funny. Are you going to stand there or are you going to watch me get yelled at by an old woman? And then he says, is there a third option? And I lolled.
Love it.
Yeah.
Lols. So Nail comes in, takes away screaming Harbinger lady as she's still screaming it, and like Poppy or Kieran says to Poppy, like, we really probably should lock her in a cell. And she's like, no, like she's more of a danger to herself than anyone else. Like we should just put her in a room where we can lock it. And she's kept
She's
there.
like, she literally
Do
just tried to
anything?
stab you.
Right?
I know. I'm like,
Okay.
you're being very nonchalant for like an attempt at your life, but okay.
Yep. And someone that's
Um,
literally backing Isbeth after you
Yeah.
rage every time you think about her.
Yeah.
I don't know if
exactly.
she clued that in though. Like I think
No.
I guess that was our theory here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So Poppy asks, so Kieran says to Poppy, like, you know, like you should really be surrounded by a guard, like when you go out places, like every royal has that. And she's kind of like PTSD, thinking back to like Victor and Rylan and like eventually Cass, when she was the maiden, and she's like, I can't do that. It brings me back to that spot. And then Poppy asks Kieran how the first mortal was created, or how the first mortal was created, and he confirms like what Vesa has said, which is like what was it again? The
Flesh of something about a Drake. King and fire
born of a
and
grave
this.
misdeed of great terrible primal power, with a blood full of ash and ice. But like he kind of reiterates the same thing, and I was just like, what does this mean? What does this
Right?
mean?
It's got to be relevant for it to
Yes.
get confirmed for us like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So then I have chapter ending with Poppy asking Kieran if he knew that the right existed before the Ascended did. He says that it didn't, and she says it does, and she shows him the ledger, and she can like sense his like surprise, like he's legitimately shocked by this as he's reading it. And Kieran says the gods could have had some sort of right, and then maybe the Ascended just copied it and like changed parts of it or whatever. And Poppy says that Malik must have told like Isbeth about it, because
Yeah.
like if it existed,
Right. Like
with
how
gods and
else
stuff.
could this like information gotten to them at this point?
I was
Yeah.
really wondering, I'm like, why are the gods making revenants? Like they clearly know how. Why are they doing it?
Right? Back
Making
in the day.
revenants.
Yeah, what they're
Like
talking
way
about.
back in the past.
They're making mortals.
Yeah.
The first mortal.
Well, the last note is it has to be relevant why the gods took third sons and daughters and how they become revenants.
Oh,
That's
shit.
Poppy's
I didn't
last
catch that
sentence.
at all. Nailed it. I was doing the chapter.
It's literally the last sentence.
Nailed it. I thought they were still talking about the first mortal.
Nope.
No,
it
this is
has
a
to be
whole different
related.
ascension and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. And that's why I
Right.
think that's kind of a part of too why I was thinking that like maybe it's the history repeating itself and the gods had the ascensions happen. They created the revenant and why or how Nyktos was like, oh God, there's revenants. Like this is bigger deal than I realized kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So chapter 5 starts and Poppy is walking outside of Cauldron Manor and it is mentioned that there are ruins there and Poppy confirms it has now been 30 days since Cass was taken. She is wallowing in her feelings. I did not feel bad for her at this point, as you can see, and thinking, oh, like how can I save Cass? I'm thinking maybe you can make a plan and talk about it. But anyways, she clutches the toy horse in her pouch again. And here I also question what the heck is up with this toy horse. So that obviously, as you know, went over my head. And I was questioning it here. No longer questioning it. But
I feel like, can I just say, I feel like your Ravenclaw is showing. You're like, I need the plan, I need the facts, I need this, I want
good
this.
call, honestly. Good call.
I like assume that they have a plan, we just don't know the plan. And like,
I'm like, put it,
It's
like,
just-
write it down. I need to see
You're
the facts.
like-
Like,
I
God,
just thought of that. I'm like, your Ravenclaw is showing.
that's hilarious.
I love it.
I'm not mad about that. Yeah, that actually makes me feel better about it, honestly. I'm like, okay, this is why. And it's okay. So
I love it.
the first note I have here, in like someone else can jump in after that if somebody has anything before this, but I have that the Draken confirmed that Nyktos and some of the Draken had only woke up 18 years ago, which was exactly how old Poppy is. So is there
Yes,
anyone that has
and-
things before that?
I do, yeah.
I was
Of
gonna
course
say,
I
Katie
do.
put
I
this.
do, but
I'm sure
just
we're
because
shocked.
he's naked.
Oh yeah, he's naked the booty.
I just
You forgot
love
the most
how
important
embarrassed
part.
she is. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. You're right. I did forget that. And that seems like a
Him
big
naked.
deal.
And he's like up on a pole or something.
Yeah, it was really
and she
weird,
like
like-
looks. Yeah, and she like looks up and he's like perched naked. She goes, I can't help but stare, but like he's perched in a way I can't really see anything, but I still feel like I shouldn't be looking. Like clearly she's like staring at him as she's thinking this. And I
Like,
just
Googling
chuckled. I
this
thought
guy.
it was so
Crouched
funny.
on a pillar.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you said
Um,
pole, I'm thinking like pole dancing. I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
vision
yeah,
that
I
I just
feel like-
wanted for myself.
you know, naked on a pole, why not? We'll send. So he tells Poppy like she's not very smart to be this far away from everyone because she's
He
like
says,
kind of wandering
what you
off.
are is not wise. And I just,
Not
this is when the
wise.
moment where I fell in love with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love you. Please stick around.
It was kind of like Kieran sass almost, right? Like the way that he was
Yes.
like being
What
really
you are
blunt
is
and
not wise.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not in a you're an idiot way, in like a backhanded comment kind of way.
Yes.
Yes. I just, yeah.
It was good.
Anyway.
He's like, I don't care
love
about your
it.
feelings. Like it was very
Yes.
just like blunt.
It's very like Black Cat energy. And
Yeah.
I'm here for
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
I love
We
it.
also got confirmation in this where he's talking that they are identical twins, or at least that's how I took it.
Oh yes,
'Cause
you're
it
right.
says
Yes,
that-
you are. They, do
They
say that.
are.
Because I remember that I
Yes.
was like, oh, I didn't assume identical, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah, because they
Yes,
did
they
not
did. I was
say
wrong.
before that. So you're right. We did get confirmation because it was an assumption on me that it was
me too.
and Katie
yeah.
that it was identical and you not. So it was nice to get
I mean, I'm
confirmation
feel
on that.
I feel like that's a very fair assumption though. I'm like,
Yeah.
we had like 50-50 odds.
We did.
You
We
really
did. He gave us a lot of information. Another thing he
Mhm.
said, and this is my Tawny moment.
Oh yeah, I'm
So Poppy asks, what can kill a god? And he says, another god or shadow stone through the heart or the head. And so Poppy says, well, what would happen if a mortal was stabbed by shadow stone? And he goes, it would kill them. Like, so like
matter of
nonchalant about
fact,
it.
like there was no question
Yes.
there.
And I'm like, interesting, because they're pretty sure that that's what Tawny was attacked with. And she's not dead. She's very not,
Yes.
lively right now, but she's not dead.
Yep.
Revenant.
That's such a good call,
Revenant.
actually. And because now we
I
know that the eye color
that.
can all be different too, right? Like there's that. 'Cause
Yes.
we know that her eyes weren't the same
Mhm.
as the Revenant's. And
Yeah.
it's okay
Yes.
in this theory.
Yeah, I'm
So I
like,
think we're gonna for sure learn how like Poppy's actual birthday, because they're gonna
Yes.
know like the date, even
Oh,
if because they
yeah.
said that they woke because Poppy was born. So I think eventually we'll
Yes.
learn that date now because we have something to reference, whether it's because Is Bitch tells us and because she would know, but also like the gods would know as well. So that's gonna I think we're
Yes.
gonna learn that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because
I
Isbeth
didn't even
gave
think about
birth
that.
to her.
Yeah, so
Me
she will know.
neither.
She's
You're
gonna know.
right.
But she didn't tell anyone
But will
because
she tell her?
that exactly. That's like I don't know. And maybe there is something significant about her birthday too that we're gonna learn. So maybe
Oh,
we'll learn
for
through
sure there
Isbeth
is.
because of
100%.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I
I
think
agree. 100%.
we're gonna learn it. I
Oh, I'm
think
excited. I
Um,
didn't even think about that, and I'm excited now.
I am too.
Yeah, same. Reverse also says to Poppy that she is the first female descendant of the bringer of life, and says that in trying, Poppy will, or sorry, like as she continues to get into her power, she'll end up more powerful than her father. And I was like, how does he know that? Like, how do you know that you're
There
gonna be?
must be something about females' power. Like I wonder if just being a female, that's how I took it. That women,
Oh.
for
Yeah.
whatever reason in the god world, like
Are
maybe
more
even the
powerful.
consort has some
Mhm.
sort of power, and that like
Mm-hmm.
is the reason why. I don't know why, but I think it has to do with her being female and that's
Yeah.
some sort of power boost for whatever reason.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I assume too.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do with
So-
like just. Go ahead.
No. I
I
was
was
gonna
just
move
saying. I
on,
just
so
wonder
you
if it has
go.
to do with like you think of like women and like their maternal and like we literally bring life to Earth, and I wonder if that's why
Very well could be.
too.
Like just having that
Oh.
the
Like, just
difference between men
gender-wise.
and women in that
Yeah.
in that sense,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's very cool.
Anyway.
So this is when he says like he doesn't know like why exactly, but he says that they became aware that Poppy's father left 18 years ago. Like they became aware of it. They don't know exactly when. But he says he believes it was when Poppy was born, and that they all had felt it, which is kind of what like stirred them all. And I was like, ooh, that's
Well, her
interesting.
father couldn't have left when she was born because he needed to be a part of her.
No, that's when they woke up. That's when they woke up.
Sorry. So I just put that the Draken is talking about Malek and Iris. Malek chose to stay in the mortal world, weakening, even knowing what he would have to do to remain strong. So at first I was like, okay, what is this referring to? I didn't think that they could do anything to remain strong. I thought you go to the mortal world and you lose a significant amount of your power. And then we learn, I think, because I put, so drinking the blood of the innocents was what he needed to do to remain strong then. And we learned that gods could have anyone's blood in this.
Yeah. So it
Except
just
the
says-
Drakens.
Except the Drakens. So I don't know. I found that kind of like contradicting because we were told that you lose their power. Are we thinking that this is talking about power or just about his own physical strength in
I
the
think
sense of
physical
like
strength.
just
Physical
weakening?
strength was how I took it. It was kind of
Okay.
like draining, like he had to recharge his battery, you know?
Got
Like,
you. So
yeah.
it wasn't like he's getting godly powers back by
I don't
drinking
I don't
blood.
think so, because she kind of has a thought to herself, which was a ginormous plot hole that none of us, at least I don't think none of us, at least I didn't, saw until it was addressed here. But like the primal notum should have kicked in with Malek because he's also a god and he has god blood. So why, when he was running, did it not kick in for him? And it says in here, Poppy says like, oh, that must be why none of the Wolven, like the Notum didn't kick in, because he doesn't have his full godly strength and he doesn't, like he was too weak. He didn't have it. Probably because he's been here for so long. But I'm like,
good
this is the
call.
biggest plot hole. How did we not pick up on
Yeah,
this?
why were we not like, why didn't they follow Malek if he was
Yeah.
alive?
Yeah.
Which seems like a really
Because
obvious
Alistair
question to
was-
ask.
And like Alice, I know, right? And Alistair was bonded with him, like with the normal Wolven bond, and he broke
But
it.
did we know he
when
was a god?
Malek-
I guess we didn't know
We
he was a
didn't
god
know,
at
but
that point.
the
so
moment
didn't
we
question
knew,
it. But yeah,
we didn't question it.
we should have.
Like none of us questioned it, and they said that. I'm like, hey,
good
point.
good catch, right? Like, yeah, even now I didn't really clue
So I
into
wonder
that.
if Jennifer wrote that in because people are like, Jennifer.
Yeah, I like
hello?
explain this, and then she's like, "Well, the next book's coming. That's a good spot to
Whoops.
explain that up."
Info
See, what
dump.
happened was.
Oh.
But yeah, anyway, I was like, oh, that's a very good point. I That is a plot hole. That is indeed a plot hole. So this is when we find out, like, Reverse tells her that, like, yes, you've ascended, but you're still not completed the culling, which Poppy was like, what do you mean?
Yep.
And he also tells her, like, if she continues to use the ether before she does go through the culling, it will slowly weaken her, making her more vulnerable. Because, like, while she's a god, she's not impossible to kill.
Yeah.
Just harder to kill. So he's like, don't weaken yourself too much, you know? So Reverse then looks behind Poppy and says, your Wolven approaches. And Delano's like laughing because it's Kieran that's walking in. And I was like,
I didn't feel good about this. I know, like, last chapter,
Same.
I was like, oh, it's so cute. They're just taking cover from each other. And he says, you're Wolven. I'm like, no, thank you.
It's like
No.
he
I
knows
know.
there's something between them that hasn't
Icky.
happened yet that we don't even know yet.
That was the
Yes.
vibe I was getting. Poppy answers that none of the Wolven are hers. They are their own people. She does not own any of them, just like him and the other Draken. And then he makes a comment like, oh, you're just like her. And his voice gets like all soft and stuff. And Poppy's like, are you referring to the consort? And his face breaks out into a huge smile. And he says, yes, you remind me very much of the ... consort. And
This
I'm
was
like,
bothering me the
why?
same way with Cass when she wouldn't say his name. I mean, we learn why, but I was like, this is friggin' annoying too. Like, name people. I am over this. So over it. I probably wouldn't have been so mad if Poppy wasn't doing it for the last few chapters, but it bothered me.
So Poppy says, is it true that, like, when Ivers or whatever
Iris.
returns, Iris, thank you, returns, like, the consort will wake? And he says yes, along with the rest of the gods. Like, because she's like, well, what about the rest of the gods? He's like, I imagine they will eventually awake as well. So I'm like, so everyone's literally just waiting for her to wake up?
That's
For
what
them to wake up?
I'm like, why do we think having the consort wake up is going to make the other gods wake up? Like, it seemed like
Yeah.
there's a connection there, and I'm really curious on why. But I never came up with a theory.
No, I'm like, I can't think of it. Poppy asks Reverse what the consort's name is, and he says, I wrote this down as a quote. Her name is a shadow in the ember, a light in the flame, and the fire in the flesh. The primal of life has forbidden us to speak or write her name. You don't understand. To speak her name is to bring the stars from the sky and topple the mountains into the sea. And I'm like, what the fuck
Which
does this
seems like
mean?
bigger than anything, the way that they're...
Yes.
Right?
And they said the... Can you say that again? Because there was a part of it that
Yeah.
made me think of Niktos. It was like the bringer of life or something.
No,
The
so he said the
primal
primal
of-
of life has forbidden us to speak her name. So like
that
Niktos has forbidden them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yep, yep.
interesting.
So at this point, Reverse leaps off of his knot pole, his pillar, and shifts mid-form back into his dragon form and flies off as the others go to meet Kieran, who is approaching.
I thought
the
something was
box.
happening for a moment when it's like he suddenly did this. I'm like, oh my god, did he sense something bad coming? And I was like, oh, never mind.
Well, I mean, he wasn't far off if he did,
Yeah.
because the box does not have a nice message.
I guess that's true.
Okay, so Kieran comes up with this box, and he
Which-
says, like,
Just the fact that the queen knew where they were, and I was somehow convinced that they have a mole.
I do too. I have a note on it too that there's obviously a truth because I think
Because then she knows where they were. Like,
they
how would
make
she
a
know where
point
they
to
were?
say, well, how did she know? Again, I think too. It wasn't just like,
Yeah.
oh, the queen knew, and like they kept going. I think they were like, how does she know this?
Yeah.
And yeah.
It was kind of creepy though, because Poppy said, like, because they're like, oh, like a guard brought this, like, from the blood crown or whatever, and she's like, well, where's the guard now? And he's like, oh, he's dead.
Oh,
And Poppy's thinking like, oh, like, you killed him, and he's like, no, like, he slit his own throat as soon as he delivered the message. And I was like, what the fuck?
And like,
So,
who does that? Like, it almost feels
Yeah.
like he would have had to have been under some sort of control.
Yeah,
like, how
like
could
a lot of,
you
like,
something.
convince?
It's a thing with, like, spy movies. Like, you see in, like, not spy movies necessarily, but there's movies where, like, they'll infiltrate the enemies, and, like, sometimes they literally keep, like, something on them that they can chew, and then they die, so they don't get crown secrets.
Right?
Like,
And
they're
it's
that
like
committed.
to be willing to die for that cause is
Yeah.
just wild when most of the guards are mortal. Like, I don't know. It's just,
But they probably have,
yeah.
like, she probably has them convinced that she's a god, and they're like, oh, if our god asks us to, well, then yeah, we're
Maybe.
gonna do it.
Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was like,
Nuts.
yeah, it really stood out to me. But I didn't write a note about
Yeah,
it, so
but anyway.
maybe not that much. um, so everyone's approaching Poppy right now, and there's some unease. And I put, okay, I think there's a box here. I don't know why my mind went to that there's either going to be Cass's wedding ring in the box, or I know this is a bit morbid, but I feel like Cass's hand or the ring on his hand is going to be in this box. I don't want it
That's
to be
insane.
that. And I know that sounds really
Crazy.
terrible, and I don't know why my mind went here, but I'm like, oh God, no, hopefully it's not his hand with the ring. And then I do mention, like, do we think that there's a traitor here? Because she always knows, like,
Yeah.
that she knew she was coming through the tunnel. And I don't know if it was this time or after when Poppy was thinking about how she knew they were coming through the tunnel. But there was a point where Poppy was considering the fact that there was a traitor. And then she said, no, like maybe she's just that powerful. She was one step ahead. Or it was kind of like blown off. But I don't feel like it
Yeah.
was the second time. And I feel like this second time, it's kind of like, okay, like it's not a coincidence that she's just so powerful. She knows every time. Like, I feel like this is
Mhm.
foreshadowing to there actually being a
I do
traitor.
too.
Yeah.
And I just said, yeah, I'm going to be so heartbroken when I learn that there's a traitor. If we learn there's a traitor.
Yeah.
And never mind. I have a note about the Royal Guard being killed. So it was relatively important to me, I guess. Oh, so also, I don't think you guys are going to like this. I said, I'm officially on Perry watch. I think he's the traitor.
too.
Same.
Yes! I thought you were going to be mad at me for it. I'm like, I think Perry.
No, I'm
Well,
sad about
because I
it.
feel like it was obvious at first because he says, oh, drop your blood and it'll work. And she's like, how do you know so much about primal magic?
Yes.
But then he did have a
Literally.
good answer. Like, he was like, this is why. But he just seemed too,
But-
this is what you need to do. Do it now.
Yes.
And I was like,
Yep.
crap. It's Perry.
That's my next, like, I did actually, like, I had a note saying I was worried a part of Cass was in the box. I didn't specify which
Like,
part.
what?
it
Oh,
was.
interesting, though.
But my
You guys are
next
on
note-
it. You were also.
My next note was Perry knows about old magic. Is he a mole? Like, I'm suddenly very suspicious.
But,
I
like,
know.
if it's anyone, I'm glad it's Perry.
Same.
Like, he would be one of the, like, all right, I'm okay with it being you. Like, if it was
Yeah.
like Vanetta, or like, you know what I mean? So I don't want it to be any of them,
Yes.
but I could live with it if it was Perry.
So
An easier pill to
Yeah.
swallow.
yeah, because like, but okay. So I did that. I went the same line. I put the same thing. And as we're sitting here talking about it, I'm like, okay, if all three of us have come to the same conclusion, is this the direction Jennifer wants us to go?
Yes, you're right.
That's
Because it was almost
true.
obvious that it's
Mhm.
Perry.
Mhm.
So
I'm
now
like, we all
it's
jumped
not.
on that train real fast. So like, maybe it's not that, I don't know.
Yes.
But it was very sus. Like, I'm like, because Poppy's like sensing tension from him. Like when she asked, like, oh, how do you know so much about primal magic?
Mhm.
Because it's supposed to be like outlawed or something, I think, right?
I was
Yeah.
surprised to learn
The
that
only
anybody could
other-
use primal magic other than a god. Like, that was surprising to me.
Right?
I was like,
Yeah.
The other option, if we're all kind of suspicious of Perry, who's the one that's with Perry?
I started with the D, I think, but I can't think of.
Delano?
No.
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 Emil? Who
no,
is it?
No,
I might think
Emil's
it's a
with
D.
the.
Hold on, I might have this open still.
Is it
I think
Delano?
it's Delano.
I think
Yeah,
it's Delano.
Yeah.
maybe. My other thought is maybe Delano, and Perry has told Delano about all this old magic stuff. If she's trying to lead us in the Perry
Ah.
direction, but not.
That would make
That's
sense.
very
though.
similar.
I'd be sad if
don't
it's
like it.
Delano because he was like protecting her for a while. Like he was outside her door way back
I
when,
know.
screaming. And she also, oh God, I'm feeling more like it's Delano too now because I feel like she has made a point, Poppy, in the last few chapters to be like, I purposely reached out to Delano and things about Delano. All of a sudden, she's kind of like bringing him up a lot. So I feel like it's trying to get us more connected and liking Delano to then have it ripped
Mhm.
out from under our feet that,
Yes.
oh boy. Oh, I'll be sad if it's
Depressing.
Delano. I was like,
I
oh,
know.
Perry's okay, but I will not be cool if it's Delano. So chapter ends with Poppy and the Wolven putting her blood on the locked box that was sent to them from the Blood Crown. And when they open the box, it is revealed to be Cass's finger with his wedding band still attached to it.
I was so not happy that I was
Aw.
right.
Yeah, I was like, called it, but Oh. Anywho, yeah, disgusting.
Okay, so chapter 6. So we're still Poppy's POV. It starts as she looks down at Cass's finger with their wedding band on it. Disbelief and anguish. I feel like they almost overwhelmed her because the Wolvens feel you hear them howling, and they react. And immediately she feels guilty as she believes her message with the former King Jalara's head antagonized the Blood Queen.
She's like heartbroken about it. She feels so guilty. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
I know.
so sad.
And I feel like she's really started off like after she kind of got through some of that. I like it. She really was aggressive at what she wanted to do with Isbeth. I didn't write down what she wanted to do with Isbeth.
Oh, I did. I did.
And see, I felt like, again, solidifying I'm like, this isn't Poppy. Like, I really feel, what's that word called? Like, when you're pulled away from something.
Disconnected?
Yes, I really feel
yes.
disconnected with, like, who Poppy truly is. And I'm hoping that this will, like, come full circle and I'll feel better about it. But I feel like right now, a large part of her has been lost, like who she is in her becoming a god. And like you guys mentioned, I think that hopefully this will come around full circle and she'll get that part of herself back when the crescendo of whatever needs to happen happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It has to come to a head first, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now the ether is like pulsing through her and she's like speaking in like a really dark voice, like it's not her normal voice, and she's like, I'm gonna go kill the queen and rip her into tiny pieces. And she's like, and this is where she's like, I'm gonna tear apart the blood forest and find Malek, and then I will do the same to him. So this is when I was like, okay, like she doesn't know exactly where he is,
but
she knows where he is,
the
but
blood
not
forest,
where he is. Yeah.
I did not pick up. I was too distracted. I did not even realize it said tear apart the forest to find Malek.
That's
I was
so
too
funny.
distracted.
It's funny though, because it's like she does know where he is in the blood forest.
Yeah.
It's just where?
Yes, not Ryan.
I don't know beyond that.
Just where in that forest? Under
She
which
doesn't
tree?
know where the X is.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where the X is to start digging.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she says she's going to rip out the queen's tongue and eyeballs and peel the flesh from her body. I'm like, ooh, okay. Kieran talks her down by saying, like, this is exactly what she'd want you to do, and innocence will die if you do this. Like, if you do this, all of our plans are gonna be gone. Like, you need to calm down. And he makes a point to keep saying Cass, and she like flinches every time she hears it. But like it kind of helps her like
she
bring
needs
herself
that
back
at this point.
Yes.
I think she needs
Yes.
to reconnect with her former
agree.
self, and that's where like Kieran's
Yes.
trying to do that.
Yeah.
I wonder though if she was a little bit in control, because like you hear the wolven howl, but then she goes down this dark tunnel, but none of the wolven, like, I don't think they reacted at first, and I think actually I was proven wrong as I'm thinking about this. Then Kieran, I think, is like, I'm fighting it.
Yes, it was taking everything
I
in him
forgot
to
write
not,
that down though.
Yeah.
to not turn.
It did not happen in Kristen's chain of events.
Yeah.
I also kind of like onto what Manda was saying. Like, I made a note here that like I know Amanda's like over it in this part, but I really was like, I'm really enjoying like the writing here, like just the way Jennifer is doing this. Like at first I was kind of like, why was it he? Why is it his? But then I'm like, I feel like we're going on a journey here with Poppy. Like if you kind of like, not if you like immerse yourself in the chapter, but I'm like, I feel like we're feeling the emotions. We're seeing like it's real. It's real.
It's connecting. Like
If
why
you're-
she wrote that first bit. Right.
And just the way like we're experiencing Poppy, like it's just so real what you'd actually go through. It's not like she's not sitting there like, oh my god, I just lost the love of my life, and like, oh, it's okay, like this, we'll get through this. It's not. She's like showing the human side of her, and I'm like, that's just so real. Like it allows us as readers like to just connect more, and I really enjoyed Jennifer's
and, like,
writing
feel
here.
what she's feeling.
Yes,
It does make it more
Yeah.
realistic. Like, and I think that I was getting probably a little impatient with it, but if we're thinking about how it would actually
Little?
happen, yeah, I know, a lot of it, and I'm not even sorry
Just
about it
kidding.
because I still feel
I'm just
impatient about it, but it does come full circle here, right? Like this is, I
Yeah.
think in this episode or very shortly when she starts to like call him Cass, or if it's not this episode, I mean chapter, but
It is.
it comes
That's
back,
what it is.
right?
Yes,
So
it is.
it makes it more powerful now that
Mhm.
happened in previous chapters.
Mhm.
So like in
Mhm.
hindsight, it's like, okay, I get it. So I have a big note about Kieran. So it's just, I mean, we kind of talked about this already, but this is where I think Kieran starts to talk about like her feelings and how what she's going through. And then he starts talking like about like Cass's mind as well. But I was just thinking that like, this is a moment, especially when Kieran is like, he's trying not to fight he's trying to fight the primal Notum and not change. And
Yeah.
I just am really feeling like in this whole book so far, because it's only just been the first half, Kieran's a true MVP to me right now. Like he
Mhm.
is like the main character to me in this point, and he's even grown so much as a character for us, and I just feel like he's not getting enough credit, and I'm feeling sad that he's not, getting the support that he needs right now. But
No.
I know. Maybe Reaver will get it to him.
Yeah, there we go. Because Poppy says, Queen's never going to release him. Like, they're just going to have to go get him.
yeah,
And this is when they start to make the plan that she will go to Cassidonia and save Cass after they take Oak Ambler. Because she needs to be, here for when not King Valen anymore, when Valen gets here. When he catches up to them or whatever. So she needs to be there for that. And then she said she's going to go. And Kieran says, well, yes, I agree. Someone needs to save Cass, but you're not going there by yourself. And Poppy's like, okay, well, someone can come with me, but you need to stay here because you're the advisor to the crown and people will follow your orders kind of deal. And he's like, this is when he's getting into his conversation. He's important to me too. I need to be there too. Oh, it was so sad. But okay. So this is when he says, you can assign someone to follow out
your
to carry out your
whatever,
wishes.
yeah.
The revenant, what do they call him? The regent?
Regent,
Yes,
I think it was.
yes.
I think before that, I think we maybe mentioned it though, but Kieran does say any one of us, including me, could die. And I said, God, please no
Yes.
foreshadowing.
Bro.
Yes. Yeah, because she's like, don't say that. Because she's like, I couldn't risk you like that, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't know if you've realized this, but this is a war and any of us could die at any time. And yeah. Then this is when Poppy says, okay, yes, I agree. You can come with me. I'm sorry. Yes, you can come with me. And then he says, we're also going to bring one of the Drake in. And he's like, who? And she's like, well, Reaver's the only one that's comfortable enough to show his mortal form. And he's
So
going to need
happy.
some clothes. And Kieran's like, well, why does that concern me? He's like, well, you guys are about the same size.
How happy were you though that that's who she picked to come with them?
I was so happy.
Right?
I was so
I'm
happy.
so happy.
I'm shipping them. They are shipped in my mind.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then this is when Kieran offers to feed her, to be her
Before, I'm also really worried though that whoever, maybe less so now that who we know she selected, I'm really worried that whoever she selects as the crown regent will be a mole.
Ooh,
And
I
then
never
just
even
feed that
considered that,
information.
but because she wouldn't consider anyone that she trusts a mole at this point, right?
I don't
So-
think it, I'm really hoping not because it's Vanetta. But at this point,
That's
before we
my
knew who it
theory.
was.
You think she is the mole? I will
I don't think so.
lose it if it's her.
But I'm really sad.
I got.
Oh yeah, I
bad
The
forgot
end
you
of this
did have a
chapter
theory
gave me a
about
lot.
it. And then
That was it.
that makes me think about the
I don't like
thing
it.
I thought.
Yep. I'll get it.
So I feel really guilty right now reading these, how mad I was at Poppy, because I put here, I hope that Kieran talking about how much he needs Cass just as much as because he said Cass needs you there, Poppy, but he needs me too. And I put, I
Yeah.
hope that was humbling AF and she will stop being so selfish. That's what I put. But she really is. She's only thinking about herself. She's like, oh, I hurt. I miss my guy, blah, blah, blah. But Kieran does too. But this is a moment that she really did acknowledge it. And she was like,
Yes.
I will never make that mistake again, Kieran. This is
Yes.
also important to you. But I was
Mhm.
like, finally. Poor Kieran. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is kind of harsh, this note, but
I love how angry you were.
I was like, get out of here.
It's so not you.
What is this happening to
Are
me?
you okay? Man, did you need a hug?
I think maybe I do. I think I do. I'm normally
And I
pretty,
always say that because it's not you.
I am usually pretty understanding, and I don't know. Poppy, you're making me mad.
I thought you were playing devil's advocate for the Blood Queen at one point.
And here I am, switching sides almost. No, thank you. What am I doing here?
Anna's really
It's okay.
feeling the feels. That's all.
Yeah, apparently.
It's fine.
Jennifer would be very
It's
proud of
allowed.
her writing.
Yes.
Roller coaster over here, in case you haven't noticed.
I think you brought up
Um,
the feeding though, Katie. with-
Yeah, that's my next note.
Yep.
And
it's mine
he
too.
does he does have a good explanation about it. He
Yes.
says I would offer that to Cass, I would offer that to my sister, I would offer that to anyone who needs it,
Making
anyone
it,
that I care
less
about.
weird, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's you don't you know the stuff that can happen when you feed. And he's like, you would know that I would never do anything. Like, he's like, didn't say that outright, but he's like insinuating like it would be a safe space with me. Like the way he was explaining it, I'm like, okay, but like also,
I know. And Kieran squeezed the back of my neck. That's weird.
Yeah.
No? Like,
and it was a few times.
Yeah.
That
And
seems
like their
like
forehead, they went forehead to forehead a couple times.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
somebody like reaching their arm around and just kind of like massaging the back of my neck. That's more than what my friend would do, I think. You know?
Thanks,
I
friends.
was like, huh, you can feed off me, little neck squeeze. Like, all right. Yeah, just gonna ignore
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah. What was your note on it, Kristen?
the feeding.
Just I'm worried it's gonna cause something between them.
Please no.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it.
I also wrote
Thank
here
you.
that I'm so glad that they like are finally verbalizing, let's make a plan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we've admitted there's really not much of a plan and we're actively gonna make one. Thank God. Like, I think I
A
can
long 5 chapters for you,
Yes,
Amanda.
I can jump back on the bandwagon here of
I don't know when it said though, but he also says they're friends, and I was very sad.
Yes,
like
'cause he's like-
emotional over. Like they finally like and we
verbalize
know
that,
it, but like they
right?
verbalize it,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yes. It was in
I
that
hurt my
monologue when he's like, like I would do it for anyone I care about. And he's like, I care about you, Poppy. We're friends. And like she goes on this internal monologue and she's like, I thought he hated me when I first met him.
Yeah,
and,
that
like,
was cute
the
to,
girl.
look at us now.
to hear
Yeah.
that perspective from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So do you remember when at the beginning of this episode we were talking and I was like, like I know towards the end it's way more touchy-feely, but like I felt better about it than I did
Yeah.
when he was in her bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the way she wrote it, it was just so like, oh, okay. But then I'm like, damn it, is she trying to like soften this for me?
I know, because I felt the same way. I was like, okay, like maybe this isn't as bad as I was like thinking, and they are just
Yeah.
friends, and it's like, am I okay with this, or
Am I
is it...
supposed to feel this way?
Oh, it's funny.
Are we being tricked right now, Jennifer?
probably
Probably.
a little reverse psychology.
Yeah, literally. So this is when Kieran asks who the regent is going to be, and this is when she says it's Vanetta. And then Kieran says when because like she's like, okay, so now we got our plan figured out. Me, you, and Reaver are gonna go save Cass. Everyone else is gonna be led by Vanetta. They're gonna go take the rest of the kingdom, whatever. We need to figure out how we're getting into where Cass is being kept. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to find him and save him. And he says that they're not going to be able to save both her father and Cass at the same
That was
time.
an interesting thing that they brought up, because I was thinking, like, why the hell not? But I don't know.
Yeah. And they don't know the condition he's going to be in is one thing he said too.
That's
like,
true.
because he's been so like starved for God knows how long.
Yeah, they won't know what shape Cass will be in, and then him, and they just can't. There's not enough of them to handle both of them. It's like that meme, like, we'll make the plan, we'll do the thing, try to execute the plan, and then throw the plan out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, yes.
Looks like we're winging it.
Yeah. So we end the chapter, as we've kind of talked about, with Kieran and Poppy finalizing their plan to go to Carcedonia and free Cass, with the plan to return to free Poppy's father.
Whoop, whoop.
At a later date, TBD.
Yep.
TBD.
All right, chapter 7. Mes amis, look at us go. Okay, so chapter starts with Cass's point of view again. Cass notes that like he's noticing that he needs to feed, and he's like, it can't have been that long already. And he's like, well, I guess I have been sliced open like every day, so that doesn't help. And like Craven attacking me and Barats and whatnot. And he notes that his hand is still throbbing, but it's not like actively bleeding anymore. But he does make note that he doesn't care that his finger is gone. What he cares more about is that the ring is gone, and he knowing that Poppy knows.
Yeah, like basically, I know Poppy has
like,
seen this now and what state she must be in.
And that's what he's like most upset about.
I'm really worried here, because I'm like, he's talking about how he's gonna need to feed. He's already refused to not feed from anyone but Poppy.
her.
So like, what's gonna happen here?
Like, is it
He's
gonna
going crazy,
put
100%.
him to the point of breaking earlier than
100%, because we haven't seen it on page yet. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Ooh,
I know, me neither, but it's going to happen. So we haven't seen it on the page yet.
My first couple of notes here, like, I think that this is very, very, very early in the chapter, but he was very, like, horny talking. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
have any
he was.
notes about this.
Because he was thinking about drinking from
Yes.
Poppy.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, so the first thing he says, when my dick and fangs sink deep into her flesh, I'm like, that was very blunt and like a big shift from the previous chapter. I was like, whoa, like I was not ready for this. And it was so matter of fact. And then I'm just like, okay, Cass, this is too much cock in between the thighs talk. Like, I was not ready. And it was very interesting to hear it from his point of view, but I was like, whoa, we are getting into it without getting into it.
Yeah.
So funny.
He wanted to get into it.
Oh, he did. He did. I was taken aback. Oh, it was also really sad when he was talking about how there was they had like water in there for him to have a bath and how like what that was that
triggers
word called?
for him.
Yes, I was like, oh, that's really sad because we never really got that picture painted for us before now, and I was like,
like
sad.
we knew that he was like abused.
Yes.
Yeah.
In ways we didn't put a trigger warning in, so I don't really want to say it. But like
This
we knew
just
he was
really was
abused.
specific, right? It was
Yeah,
like,
it was painted for us in this chapter,
Yeah.
and like that is a trigger for him because it brings him back to that moment,
yeah,
and that was really sad.
I'm
to
very
read.
sad.
Okay, so now the handmaiden from the last book, the Revenant lady,
Yes.
comes into the room and she's like, "Hello, you don't look so well." And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is funny." And she notes that like, yeah, you're definitely infected. Like you stink.
Yeah.
You need a bath and a bandage, and got to clean you up. And she goes, funny. Atlanteans don't usually fall prey to such ailments. I was like, she's just like so sassy. I'm like really
Yes.
digging it.
I love her, and like she just reminds me so much of the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, funny.
Like just the way she
Oh.
thinks things.
Is this
It's-
the
yeah.
same Revenant that we met originally that was at the right? Okay, I was
Yes.
making that assumption here, but I was just worried that I was okay. I do like her
Okay,
too.
so I have a theory. About her.
Let's hear it.
So Cass, my next note is Cass keeps thinking that she reminds him of someone, her laugh and her scent. And I put Crockpot. Do we think that this could possibly be Poppy's sister? Like, did Isbeth have a daughter after Poppy?
Ooh.
Because like he's made note multiple times that like she like I don't know, it's weird. Like her scent, it's just so familiar. Oh, like her laugh, it just sounds so familiar. And like he's very endeared to her. And I'm like,
Interesting.
I wonder. She could be
Got
a younger
you.
sister though,
Got
because
you.
she could be the
Yes.
third. Hence
Yes.
allowing her to turn into a revenant. Because
Yes.
the son that was stolen was kid 1. Poppy
Mhm.
is kid 2. She could be kid 3.
Yeah.
But I
Younger
think they made it
sister.
seem
I
like
feel like
she's
it would
lived a long
match.
time though. Have they? I don't think they've actually confirmed. Have they? She'd have to be less than 18 actual years old. This Revenant, if she was younger.
I mean, she's really
sister.
short. It's possible.
But could she be the maiden and not be related to Poppy though? Could in the sense of like somebody else's bloodline, like another primal, let's say.
But
then-
she'd have to still be the third born though in order to be a revenant.
Yeah.
Because maybe that happened, and then,
Could someone like
Isbeth-
Poppy be turned into a revenant though? I don't think they could. Because
Yeah.
the god blood.
well, that's what I'm wondering. Could she have been the first maiden, but not been like Poppy? And then Isbeth realized and learned that Poppy could be born. She learned about the gods, and then she's like, never mind first maiden. Oops, the first maiden died because now she had Poppy, who was going to be like the actual, like could actually, do whatever it is that she's supposed to
In
do.
theory, it could happen. I don't think she was
Yeah,
the
I
first
kinda don't
Revenant,
think so,
like
the
the
more I
first
keep talking
maiden,
about
but
it.
like anything's possible.
I don't know. I'm on Poppy's sister watch.
I like
Interesting.
that theory though.
I didn't catch that he like was finding her familiar, so that's very interesting. Because there's
Yeah.
something
Yeah, he
like
said it a
that's
few times.
got to be relevant to something. We're gonna learn something about it.
And I feel like it would very much track with Isbeth, like being like, "Oh, I can make revenants. Hey, I've had 2 kids. Let me have another revenant and fucking test shit on them." Like I feel like that very much tracks with what we know about her.
I have more arguing points to that, but it's 2 notes down, so I'll get into that in a minute. My next note though is when She's talking about the tunnels and like she's kind of like helping him from what I gathered from this.
Yes.
Yes, about
I copied and
escaping,
pasted
or-
this from the books. Gods walked these tunnels, as did primals. They walked other tunnels in other cities, connecting doorways and creating magical wards made of primal essence that could keep things out or in. And then he's like, what the hell are you talking about? And she says, a god born a mortal, carrying the blood of the primal of life and the primal of death upon ascension was foretold. Or so they say, and they say a lot. Is she saying that Poppy can like open them because she's like
I
primal
Well, also,
blood?
I didn't think of this till now either, but like it says God walks these tunnels. What if we talked about they're gonna save Poppy's father? He's a god.
True.
Maybe that's how they escape. They have him, and if he's not cuckoo for Cocoa, whatever
Cuckoo
Amanda
for
says
Cocoa
that
Puffs.
I'm-
You got it.
Yes.
You got it. Cuckoo
I was
for
gonna say
Cocoa Puffs.
pants though.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Pants.
Yes.
That would be acceptable.
If he's not crazy, maybe he helps him escape because he's walked the tunnels.
That's interesting.
And maybe like Poppy could use her essence to maybe open doors, but he's like, yeah, we need to go this way.
Do you know what that
I just
made
thought
me
of that.
think of too, though? When you said that, can you read the part again about the primal, the born,
Yes.
whatever?
A god born a mortal, carrying the blood of the primal of life
So
and the
Poppy,
primal of death
right?
upon ascension was foretold.
Mhm.
Or so
And-
they say.
So Poppy, and then doesn't it say that we keep reading? They broke the ward or something?
Either way, she broke those primal wards when she ascended into her godhood.
So I think that she is saying to Cass is that the wards or whatever that's like could lock him in is already gone. When Poppy
Yes.
ascended into her godhood, I think that was the crack on the rise, and that was the crack on this,
Oh.
like that she broke whatever primal magic there was on the rise, on any of their,
Yes.
and that's already
Yes.
happened. I think she's hinting like that the magic has already been broken here.
If you can get out of these chains,
Yes,
like you can get out. Hmm.
Oh, didn't think of that.
Okay, so my next argument that she is Poppy's sister. So at this point, she's like randomly brings up Poppy, and she's like, "Oh, like does she ramble a lot like I do? Like I'm told I
Oh,
ramble a lot. Does she
yes.
ramble like I do?"
Why would she?
And I'm like, why the hell would she care? Yes, and then
Because
I
she
thought to myself,
knows
'cause-
that she's her sister.
yes, and she was also super shook by Ian's death. Like, not that Ian is a blood relative, but she knows what Ian was to Poppy. And so I'm sure that's what helped bond them if her and Poppy are sisters.
Yes.
So she's like, okay, this is my sister's brother. Like, obviously, I'm going to work with him. And, like, that's why she was so shook
Oh,
when Ian died. Because she's like, holy shit. Like, that's like my brother adjacent.
I'm so sad now.
Yeah. I think, honestly, I think it is. Like, I
I
think it
think
is.
you're onto something, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Because
It's
it would
sad.
be Isbeth's third born. And if you've already had
Yes.
2 kids, of course you're going to try for the third if you're Cuckoo Pants for Cocoa Puffs and you know
Yep.
that that's a potential. And
Cuckoo pants for Cocoa Puffs.
I know that came
Just
out like
mix them
not,
all now.
it didn't come out the right way.
I love it.
But especially knowing her, and she thinks that she's basically a god. So she's thinking, if I procreate with the blood that I have, and then that turns into revenant, like maybe she's the strongest of all revenants, and that's why she's
Yep.
always testing her killing methods on this poor freaking girl. Why she's like,
Ugh.
look at I'm trapped just like you. Like maybe it's next level that you're
I hate it.
okay. Maybe I don't know if this tracks with like all of the other things, but maybe the person's like the bloodline you were born into. If you turn a revenant, you become. I was thinking like duty bound to them, but then you'd be duty bound to your own parents, and then maybe that's why. Like, no, I don't think that's a thing anymore. But I don't know. I think, oh man, Katie,
I really do. Like, I'm reading it. I'm like,
I really think you're onto something, and I don't like it.
So, she also is saying to Cass, like, I made a promise or something. I'm here because I promised something. Do you think this is a promise
Mhm.
she made to Ian before his death? That she's
Or Malik. Or Malek.
or
Oh,
Like
I
the
never
brother.
thought of
I was thinking Ian. I feel like it has to do with Ian and Poppy and helping
Oh,
Cass.
You're right.
So she like the promise could have even just been her having this conversation and planting seeds that she promised she would help in some way. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I didn't think
possible.
of that.
just
Because I
thought of
wondered who
Ian.
the promise
didn't
was.
think
I'm
of
like,
Ian.
ooh.
But Malek,
I
I
didn't
never
think
thought
of
of that either.
Ian.
But
I was thinking
Huh.
Malek to
Okay.
check in on.
So I copied and pasted the part where she mentions the promise. And there's a little bit before it too that I wanted to
Okay.
touch on. So
Yep.
she says, if you think that granddaddy is the true primal of life and the true primal of death, then you know nothing. And Cass's eyes narrow. What is she up to? Nyktos was the primal of life. The gods Rain and Ryer oversaw the dead, but Nyktos was the primal, the king of the gods. That meant that he was the true primal of death too. So then Cass says to her, educate me. And she says, I'm not that bored. And she pushes herself off the wall. Plus, I have things to do, people to see, kill, whatever. I did as I promised. And then she starts to leave. And she looks down and says, the queen has her plans. And he says, this whole remaking the realms bullshit. To remake something, one first must destroy it. The Blood Queen is not that powerful. Yeah, because then I put, what does this mean?
I was like stuck on the true primals. I'm like,
Me
okay,
too. I was wondering.
there's like
Go ahead.
a fake one then? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because she says, if you think granddaddy is the true primal of life and death,
And
then
they're
you
like-
know nothing.
And they're like italic, like it's like true primal of death
Yeah.
and the true
What?
primal of life.
I wasn't thinking this in the time. My note here is, do we think that Poppy is the true primal of life and primal of death? Because she has the blood of Nyktos and the consort, or is the consort the true primal of life and primal of death? And maybe Isbeth is privy to that knowledge somehow. Therefore, she knows that falls down now to Poppy.
I think it would make more sense if it's Poppy, because that might be why the queen is so
obsessed with her.
getting her back on her side.
Mhm.
Also, they talk about the Revenant's
Interesting.
eyes. They make a comment about how her eyes were nearly lifeless. I feel like that's not to say they look nearly lifeless. We're gonna learn what that's all about. Because
Yeah.
I keep bringing it up.
So Poppy says that Venetta has accepted the regent's position, and she says she doesn't seem happy about not being part of the rescue mission. And my note was like, why are you like, it's worded as if it's like, oh, like I need to be with my brother, like whatever.
Yeah, I just
But I'm
assumed
like-
that. Like, oh, I just want to be in the thick of it, and I want to protect the queen.
I
being
feel
Poppy.
like it's more like she wants to be able to stop what they're doing.
Like she had a
because if she's
plan to be there, and
And I just
I
said,
don't like it.
the
I said, she's not the mole, right? That would be very sad. She's not the mole, right?
The only saving grace I have here is that they have no choice. Like, because of their blood, they're almost like inherently forced to serve Poppy. Like, is there a way they could
I mean,
possibly?
Alistair wasn't,
I know,
though.
but he wasn't awakened when the primal notum was, though.
Yeah.
No,
He was like,
like
he was
couldn't
alive
shift
when it was-
anymore, though.
But
He
I'm
couldn't
saying
shift
like
anymore,
this
though.
time
Yeah.
around, like when prior to it being like whoever it was before, like would Venetta be able to do something? I guess she could. I don't know.
If she's
I'm
not
kind
the
of
one
hoping it's
doing
like an
it,
Atlantean.
yeah.
I never considered it could be a Wolven.
That's why it makes sense.
Oh, I really hope it's not her.
And the fact that Poppy went out of her way to say, like, oh, like she doesn't seem happy about not being part of the rescue mission. Like, I don't know. I was just
I didn't
getting
take
like
it that
super.
way, but I see with your theory.
Yeah.
Why you
I
were
was just
thinking
like,
that.
oh, she wants to be with like their friends.
Same.
Like, you know, she doesn't want to, just like Kieran doesn't want to
Yeah.
leave her, but different.
I took
I
it that
hope
way
that's
too,
right.
but considering your theory, I can see it being taken the other way.
I can see it, yes.
I'm going to hold on to
I
it's
don't
not
like
Venetta.
it.
I'm going to hold on to she can't because she's bonded in a way. And
I
please,
know, and there's
God,
a really
don't do
sweet
this.
moment here at the end too. Like it's, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
But okay,
But I'm
you
putting it on the table.
saying that, what I also thought was the fact that we just now learn about the conversations that Ian had with Venetta, and I'm thinking like, why didn't she say any of this
Yep.
before now? That's
Yep.
kind of suspicious. I didn't think it was
And-
until you said this theory, and I was like,
And
oh, weird.
like from my understanding, when this conversation she's making it seem like when this happened, when she had this conversation with Ian, from my understanding, what she's telling Poppy is like, I had a whole fucking conversation with your brother, like enough to get to like, he
Know
told me
him.
stories and shit
Mhm.
while I was waiting for you to come talk to him. But when we were in Poppy's point of view, it was like, 5 minutes. She's like, my brother's here. I need to go. And like, she
I
went
don't
into the
think that's
town.
when
but
she talked to
They had to
Ian.
travel.
No, but Vanetta came back to Atlantia and said, your brother needs to see you.
Yeah.
And then Vanetta went back with it. But I thought it was before then for some reason. I don't think that was when she was
Okay,
talking
maybe
to
I
Ian.
misinterpreted then. Because it was like really feeding into my holy shit.
But I could be wrong. But I thought it was the first time they got the message from Ian. I feel like that's when she had those conversations with him. But if that's the case, I thought it was suspicious that she didn't tell Poppy about that and all the things that he said. Because she was like, how was he? How does he seem? And she's like, fine, basically. But if he seemed very different than the rest of the Ascendant, he was telling me these jokes, or not jokes, these
yeah,
stories.
like why wouldn't she have said that to her?
Once you said that, I'm like, that's weird that this has never been brought up.
See,
'Cause
I
she's
went
like-
very opposite with this.
Oh, how did you go with it?
I was wondering if, like, we know Ian told Vanetta stories, and I don't know what Vanetta might have said about Poppy, but, like, maybe it was clear that she knew him, and I'm like, was Ian in his stories trying to give Vanetta a way to get into the castle to sneak in?
I did feel like reading this that it was good and, like, well-intended. For sure. Like, I thought
Yeah.
that he was almost trying to plant seeds to Vanetta. But once
That's
you told
like,
me
I was
your
wondering.
theory, Katie, I was like, oh, maybe that was a negative thing. But I did not in any way, first reading this,
Before.
take this at negative.
I mean, I hope
at
you
all.
guys are right, because I'll
At
be
all.
really sad. Like, I really hope you guys are right. I'll be sad if I'm right.
And, like, there just
I
wasn't
wanna be
time
right.
to talk about it before. That's what I'm gonna hold on to hope. That a lot shit happened.
Because she's like, I watched over him, and he spent the time to tell me stories about Stygian Bay and the temples of the Eternity. And I'm like, this just sounds like you guys had like a whole fucking interaction, and I'm
Also,
sus.
though, like, he told me a story where that was hooked on this tale. A girl picking flowers. Poppy's dream. Pretty little Poppy. Pick it, watch it bleed. She was startled by a god. She woke up on the hills to a god. Almost fell off the cliff. She almost walked off the cliff, and the god startled her. I'm like,
Yes.
this is also, now I'm rereading this, I'm like, it's sounding a lot like Poppy. That's all
Okay.
I got.
So chapter ends with Poppy burning the letter with her ether, saying that she will save her father and Cass and make sure that the queen can't hurt anyone else that she loves. And that's it, friends. The end of this section. Now we're going to get into our bookish breakdown.
All right, it's my turn to host. I am so excited. So,
I need to
I don't remember
win!
what I don't remember what our tallies are. I think Amanda and I are tied.
Oh, let's remind you. So I'm gonna pull it out, but it's Kristen's in the lead with 3, and then I'm 2 points, and Katie is 1. God, this is far away.
Ooh.
You can see.
All
I'm
right.
glad Kristen can't get another point today.
Me too.
Are you guys ready for my
Yes!
game? I'm kind of excited for it, so I hope it goes well.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the first line of a book, and you have to guess the genres of that book.
Ooh, fun!
So based off the first line of the book, you have to guess
just
genres.
the genre, not the name of the book, just the genre.
Not the name of the book, genre. And
Okay.
I like very purposefully went upstairs and like grabbed different books. Just whoever yells whatever you need to yell, whoever's voice I hear.
So, is there any what's that word called? Penalty if you guess wrong? Like or just go to the next person to guess.
It'll go. So like if someone guesses wrong, the next person
they
just
can't
gets
keep
to guess.
guessing. The next person
Yeah.
gets it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like all of these
Oh
have
my
like
gosh.
multiple genres. So I mean, we can do.
As long as
Like if we
try to
touch on
guess
one
two.
of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm hoping this plays out well.
I'm so nervous. I think you might
Do we-
get a
Alright.
point here, Katie, because I have no.
So do we just go like,
confidence.
"Buzz," if we need like,
Yeah.
like
Whatever
okay,
noise you want to
whatever.
make is
Okay.
have at her. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is going to be hard, but have at her. I skidded down a stairwell and crunched against steel gravel at the bottom. I don't even know who said that,
me.
Amanda.
Yeah, I think that is a historical fiction.
Wrong.
Damn it.
Eh. Katie, do you have a guess?
Okay. Yes. Would YA be a genre? Or do you want more specific?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going
It
to go
is
with YA.
technically a genre.
I'm going to go with YA.
But couldn't there be like a genre within that? Oh, you said there are
I
multiple
feel
genres.
like you should be more specific.
Yeah,
More
I think so,
specific?
too. 'Cause
Okay.
Harry Potter's
Yes.
Okay.
YA.
Because like everything is YA.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go with science fiction then.
Yes.
Oh, boo!
Bang, bang, bangity bang.
So
Sciencey.
the book is Brandon Sanderson. Steelheart is the book.
I almost said romantasy just because I know that's probably your most owned genre.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I'm
she
like,
ain't
what
going
does
that
she
easy.
have?
I
But then I went
very
to-
specifically
didn't mean to-
got different
yeah.
ones though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you guys read this book that I'm gonna read next because I actually really loved it. It got me back into reading after not reading for a while. I'm gonna murder this. I can already tell. All right. I start my day before sunrise, throwing on running clothes and laying a pinch of sema at the eastern base of a tree where sunlight will touch the tobacco
Fantasy.
first.
Yeah, I need more specific. Romantasy. Do I need to be more specific than that?
Both are wrong.
Well, you said
I
a word I
think
didn't know, so I'm like, well, this has got to be fantasy.
I think I know what book you're talking about. It's an orange cover because I remember Kristen bought it as a paperback because she's like, I really want to get back into reading and like this is one I really wanted to read.
So her hint
and
gave
But
it
you
away.
don't know the book.
I don't know the book and I
though.
don't know the
Yeah.
genre.
Okay, then
I just know what it
I'm
looks
upset
like.
about it.
And I feel like it has something to do either the author is Native American or it's about Native American stories.
Is this just an assumption?
I might have told
Or
Katie
did
that.
her... But, like, so she's getting an unfair advantage
But I don't think
here.
she knows. I don't think she knows
what
the
it's
genre
about,
though.
I don't know what
I
it's
guess that's
about.
true.
Okay, I'm just gonna
That's
have to
true.
fucking guess.
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 off the thing. You don't have to worry about guessing. Damn it. Damn it.
I'm gonna say philosophical.
Eh,
Ooh,
no
thank
one
God.
gets a point. Unless you guys want to try
Do
again.
we want to keep guessing? Or do we want to just move on? What do you think, Katie?
Save it in case we need a tiebreaker.
Okay. Okay. Good
I have
call.
lots of books down
Good
here,
call.
so I do have extras. Okay, we can come back to that one.
I'm like, once there's a fancy word I don't know. I'm like, fantasy. It's a made up land. There's a lot of words I don't know, so that's a really bad strategy.
Really bad. This one I've obviously read. Authors smell. Yeah, Orthars sense the smell returned first. That's
so
the
it's a
first
name,
sentence.
maybe. Okay.
I'm too nervous to guess first now because I always get it wrong.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, beep beep. I got a friggin' guess. Dystopian or utopian?
No.
Ugh. Damn it.
Good guess though.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to make my sound historical fiction.
No.
Damn. I'm like, we haven't guessed that one yet.
My second guess would be a fantasy, but I thought dystopian sounded fancier to say. But wait, you don't have to tell me if we're going to come back to them just in case. Damn it.
We're not doing really well here.
Please.
I have 1 point. This is great.
I know,
This is
Katie's
a
like,
fun
keep
game.
going.
Love.
Keep
Keep going. Stop the count.
Let's just end it here, right? Like, I'm ahead.
Oh, I can't do this one because Katie is gonna know right off the bat based on the name.
Can you tell me what it is now? Since you're not
Just for
gonna
fun?
do it.
So
Yeah.
the one I was gonna choose was Heartland, which is like one of my
Oh.
favorite series, but like the first sentence says Amy Fleming. And I'm like,
Oh, I
if
would
I've
not have
mentioned
known
it
that.
once, you might have known.
I wouldn't have known that. I read them when I
Alright.
was like 10, but I only read them once.
I'm a little obsessed with them. It's fine.
They didn't hold my heart like Harry Potter did, so
That they held my heart.
yeah.
Because they're Heartland.
All right. Next book. Today, Prince Cyrus returns to the capital with a bride, or else.
Romantasy.
Katie.
Romantasy.
That's a good guess. You're probably right.
Yes.
Yeah! I'm like, it said Prince.
Oh, that's so smart. I don't think I can win now because that was the third one, and you have. No, I have to get
There's
both. I have to
two.
get both of them to tie
Yes.
you. Oh my god, that's not
So that
happening.
book it's Violet Made of Thorns.
Ooh,
It's one of my special
Ooh, it's a
editions.
pretty-
Look at it.
that is very
I was going to
pretty.
say, yeah, it looks like it has pretty sides.
Yes. Are we going back? Do you want me to read a second sentence in these books?
Yeah, the
I
ones
can
that we
read a
didn't
second
get.
Yeah, let's
sentence.
do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Is this the
I'm gonna go
first one
back
we
in the
didn't
order.
get? Okay.
Yeah, I'll read the first sentence. No one can guess, and then I'll read the second sentence. And again, as soon as you have a thought, you can guess.
Okay.
So I start my day before sunrise, throwing on running clothes and laying a pinch of sema at the eastern base of a tree where sunlight will touch the tobacco first. Prayers begin with offering sema and sharing my spirit name, clan, and where I'm from. Yep,
Fantasy?
it is not fantasy.
I think you guessed that the first time.
I thought I guessed dystopian. I couldn't remember.
Yes.
And I was like, this sounds magical and offerings of the gods and stuff. Damn it. Please get it wrong, Katie. Get it wrong, get it wrong, get it wrong, get it wrong.
I'm just going to have to pick something off this list. I'm going to be really mad when it's obvious and I'm dumb and just couldn't think of the
That's right.
genre. Okay, let's go. Ooh, could it be based on a true story? Can we say memoir? Is that a genre?
Yes.
Can I say?
Is
I'm
that
going to guess.
final
your
answer?
final answer?
Yeah.
You are wrong.
Shit. Okay.
Is it paranormal?
Damn.
I didn't even notice this one until I scrolled down.
Okay, you got to tell
It's-
us what the book is now, because I
Yeah.
think once we get into two sentences, it's
Yes.
a dead point.
It's a dead point.
Can you show
so
it to
it
me? Am I
is-
right? Is it orange?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
No.
does have orange
Let's-
on it.
Oh, down there.
So it is Firekeeper's daughter. So Katie was right. It's like I read it last June because it was Indigenous month, and it is
cool.
by an Indigenous author. So that's what she's
You
talking
picked it up
about.
in Tobamori too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Ah.
Yeah.
And so it's a mystery. It's very good though. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Oh. Yeah,
I
you were in
really
a bit of
liked
a
it.
reading slump, and we were in Tobamori, and she's like, I'm gonna buy this book because like they had a bunch of like local vendors and stuff that were
That's
like selling
cool.
artwork and whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm just gonna buy it. Like maybe having a physical book will get me out of my reading slump. And it did.
Cool.
And I remember you telling that story, but I couldn't remember what the fucking book was. I remembered the story that accompanied the book.
I'll do the second line.
Yeah, do the second line.
It's not very helpful. Arthur's sense of smell returned first. He breathed in the stench of corpses.
Beep beep. A horror / supernatural?
Wrong.
Can I
Ew.
say true crime?
Ooh.
You can say true crime.
I'll say true crime.
Final answer? Wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you were looking all excited. I'm like, I got it. I got it. You tricked.
It's like, you can't say that.
It's fantasy.
Oh.
Queen of the Orcs is the series. This is not this book in particular, but this is the first series where I found my first hanky panky.
Ooh.
Oh, you
Yep.
broke your book virginity.
Yes.
Fun.
So it's fantasy, fiction, romance, magic, science fiction, fantasy, high fantasy.
Holy moly.
Mm.
Damn it, Katie. I'm
There's a bunch
so
there.
mad that you've tied me.
2-0, baby.
I'm not happy for you.
I got the shutout. I got the shutout.
I really tried to do different genres. I'm sorry.
No,
You
it was
did.
good.
You
It
had
was
a
good.
good
It was good.
range there.
Katie, here's your point.
Yes, I'm coming for you next, Kristen. Except not really, because I'm hosting next time.
That kind of sucks, eh?
It does.
It's kind of nice though. It's a fairly even like board right now. Like you
Yeah.
can't really get more even than that. I mean, you could, but you get what I'm saying.
It's funny because I like, obviously you want to get a point and I like winning. And it's like so fun to get to like pick the next game, but then you also can't get a point. So it's like,
All right. So Katie wins. So we have a fairly
Boo.
even board. We'll see
Boo.
next week if I can overtake Amanda.
I'll cry.
It'll
gotta
be
pick
really
something
ahead of
really
everyone.
Oh.
Let us know what you thought. Amanda, can you let them know where they can find us?
You can find us on your favorite social media platform. We are at Your Bookmark Pod. I'm just like, oh, I'm tanking it, you guys. No, just kidding. At Your Bookmark Pod, you guys can find us. Like, comment, rate, review. Send us an email at yourbookmarkpod@gmail.com. We are in the thick of this series, so I think now more than ever, your feedback would be so valuable to us. Do you like how we're doing this? What do you want to hear more of? What do you want to hear less of? Let us know, and we will take your feedback and make this even better for you. So,
Yep, buddy.
Yeah.
And before we sign off here, friends, Professor Katie needs to sign your homework. So we are going to continue the War of Two Queens, obviously, and it's chapters 8 through 14, which we will be covering in our next episode. But until then, we'll see you at our next chapter. Bye.
Bye.